Liege during last time, um, in terms of the large arcane tower and, well, seemingly the ritual going on in Alcen's land, summoning some kind of genie. The focal point of such appears to be Alcen's own daughter, a
Oh,
powerful
yeah.
mage in her own right who is performing the ritual. Something you set your security team quickly upon to start figuring out where the hell she is.
Yeah, it seems prudent to figure out.
Yeah, I'd
However,
say.
as it stands, we'll kind of ease ourselves back in here a little bit at a time, and kind of go through some of the little changes here as well. Obviously, some people also might have some questions with some of the changes here. But yeah. I think to help consolidate things a bit, instead of having all the separate stats for each individual councillor, I have just simply summed up all the councillors' bonuses into distinct categories for each area of the council, that you would be working together during any projects anyway. As you can see at the top, with your new simply 6 stats to represent how well the kingdom is managing itself. From leadership at the top, of course, led by His Grace. To military, which sadly you are understaffed in military with only a single advisor there currently.
Not a lot of military, I gotta say.
No. You're getting miscellaneous +8 bonus being added by the fact that Silver Swift is currently aiding you and has sent their military advisor to assist you.
Oh, yes.
But obviously that's a temporary measure. Administrative, of course, from your treasurer, steward, and high sage. Diplomatic, primarily led by Ceres, but with Lady Eliza helping as well. Mystical, from Auntie Makara, Isaac, and Raiden. And of course, your top stat, apparently, your internal security. By your warden, spy master, and royal enforcer.
Hashtag police state.
No one's getting in.
You are also getting miscellaneous +1s onto each of these due to your. So of course, you do have a bunch of retainers you're paying for.
Yes.
You're getting a +1 to military from Persephone, your alchemist who likes explosives. Are you getting +1 to diplomacy from your seamstress, Lady Serena? Danza the scribe is adding +1 administrative.
Sure. So,
And Viella, your toxicologist, is granting a bonus to security.
Of course.
right.
As
Don't worry
everyone
about
starts to question about what drinks are safe.
We can certainly see. We can certainly see where problems like in our stats are. It's like, yeah, military, we are puny. Leadership, like, I mean, kind of hold it together, I guess, and then like so over bloated on mystical and security.
I mean, we can move around.
As it goes, you also have the little star there, which is just there to represent basically which category, because the advisor grants a D6 onto one of these stats each. Currently granting it on leadership, you can move that around though each turn.
Yeah.
Wherever you think you need the most help.
Yeah, military.
Right now,
But then
there's
again,
just a bunch of vacant spots still.
Yep, that's the problem. Problem we have.
Like consort and air, that's probably exclusively for M&S to deal with.
That's not going to be filled anytime soon.
But they would raise leadership.
I mean, military.
The dagger of ecstasy. Oh my.
Oh, wait. Oh, it automatically adds it. Okay. That's nice.
Of course, on the right-hand side here, I have that area to show the unrest of the kingdom on this screen for everyone. Above your shield, as well as, of course, the shield. I'll slowly bow down here, putting the shield of any vassals you have underneath your own.
Sure.
Currently, you've just got one, Eliza's. Still, an important one. The first, the first power to bend its knee to Ammonus.
Hey, she has been paid handsomely for that, I think.
Speaking of being paid, of course, you've got the treasury in the bottom right. Not had a lot on it right now, because you did spend a lot of money on a recent project. We'll get to that. And of course, showing your mana in the bottom left as well. As well as the new tactical map. Just generally showing you the overview of, in this case, just the Reach, since that's the only area that really matters to you guys right now is the Reach. As we proceed, we may end up adding more maps for other areas in the kingdom. As you can see, currently relations are fairly strong around you, except for a distinct, very dark section at the bottom, though.
Yeah.
You can also see all the major settlements marked by little stars around, or by the shields of the nations, which are the capital.
Right.
You currently do not have any extra settlements at the moment. You just have your one major settlement.
Yeah, also a problem we're working on.
Yes. Is there any questions about the splash screen itself immediately for anyone? Just while kind of get anything out of the way before I continue.
Don't think so. Looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect then.
Very clear.
Just in case anything was unclear. That's fine then. In which case, we will kind of start zooming in a bit then to the individual situation, kind of just handle through what's happened in the last month while your characters were preparing and getting things sorted. And I think I'm going to start in clearly the only appropriate place to start with His Grace, Amanus.
Hit me.
For the last month, you've had one project in particular that you've been put in charge of. You put yourself in charge of, I suppose.
Right.
Refurbishing the docks in the Highlands,
Oh yeah.
which cost a whole 100 ducats from the treasury.
Oh yeah.
It was an expensive project.
It was.
And for this, before I proceed on how exactly it went, let's go ahead with some dice rolls, because it'll be the fun part.
Hey.
You can go ahead and give me a leadership roll, since that is a category you belong to.
Sure.
So the plus 30, and you get the d6 from the advisor as well, since the advisor's on your side.
Starting strong. And then a d6.
Yep.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
30,
that is very solid.
34. I feel that's pretty damn good.
That obviously does beat the control DC, which means nothing catastrophically bad happens, but also
Right.
means further things may happen, because that was a very good roll.
Very good.
Crit success. Wait.
Wait.
If we're playing Pathfinder, crit success.
Oh no, it's starting.
But nonetheless.
It's gonna be some bleed between here.
Yeah, there will, especially given it's also one of my favorite systems anyway. So
It's been a lot of Pathfinder recently for me, so I'm thinking Pathfinder.
it's not a bad rule if you get 10 over the DC, right? It's not
Oh, I think it's pretty good.
It's been a long last few weeks. There's been no easy connection up to where the docks is, so you've had people digging out roads, paving it, laying down salt and grit to keep away the frost. Though thankfully, given it's summertime right now, even though it's always cold in the Highlands, at least it's less snow than normal. Take it as you will. But people have carved their way up there, and various stonemasons that you've managed to hire in, especially from your dwarven allies, have managed to slowly repair out the ancient stone dock. And it's starting to look pretty respectable now, as Amanus kind of looks out, the smell of salt in the air, the sea breeze. You can see ice. You can see small little bergs of ice just floating off in the distance. But it's a waterway. It's open, and the docks are soon to be ready. But a question does come for Amanus here, a decision that needs to be made in regards to this as he looks over the construction. Who is getting priority in the stockyard here? Is it going to be prioritized to the military or to trade?
I mean, so the dockyard, on the map, is it up
Yeah, on your
here?
northern coast, yes.
I I feel there's a little point of having a military harbor for us, honestly. if anything's gonna come up here, it's gonna be trade.
Yeah.
We are currently relying on Silver Swift for any naval stuff, and we're not in a position to do a lot of naval stuff ourselves. So I think for now, trade is the way to go here. Our military power needs to be ground based.
Makes sense.
Or air.
Or air, yeah, until we get that airship going.
Or until we get the airship going, or our dragon riders that we're working on.
Decision made then, as
Yep.
Amanus has made that clear, the intentions, and so has happened very quickly. Warehouses have been put up. Even guild halls have begun to appear, and very quickly, merchants have dove aboard the chance to claim real estate in a new dockyard area.
Goal is gold.
It will take some time for this to fully grow, but as it stands, it's very clear, especially from Amanus's good work with construction, that this is going to end up being a sizable harbour in not too long of a time.
All right.
A major settlement in its own right, potentially, if you want to encourage it to go to a full-sized second city, almost.
Sure. We can have a little, like, a stopover town. Need like a tavern and a boardwalk. Someone to sell frozen treats.
As it stands, people are more than happy to. Though the cold is going to limit how fast it will grow, but regardless, people seem eager.
We have a functioning and swift connection trade-wise that don't rely on anyone else's
Yes.
land, which is very useful.
Very quickly, you've even seen that some of the local merchants have already begun the process of building what's essentially a small dry dock on the edge of the city to start building their own ship.
Hey, well, that's very enterprising.
Though it will take some time before their enterprise sees much thing, it shows that people are eager to get trade to Sorkai.
Yeah, the mountain roads are not ideal for it. Now we have a little bit of...
The mountain roads are not ideal, and many people have seen the potential in what you've got here.
All right, awesome.
Question.
Yes?
Could Ciel buy a front? Area for herself in the docks or near it?
Maybe we could reserve a space for you.
I can buy it if I have the money. If I
The
can.
royal court can, I am sure, request an area.
I mean, you can. It just depends how big of a property are we looking here.
It's just a small property for now.
Then you can just reserve a small plot for yourself.
Sure. Wonderful.
What you build on the plot's up to you, but you can reserve a small plot in the port.
It'd be a shady tavern, isn't it?
No, it will be another blood bank.
Oh. Hmm.
Not the northern
Is that better
source.
or worse?
Oh dear.
We will see, won't we?
It can be also a safe house for the spy master. One of the many.
Sleep among the
Yeah.
blood bags.
Yes.
It's gonna be a sommelier of blood at this point.
And with the blood bags, we mean the human slaves she keeps.
I don't have any slaves.
Not that I know of.
Not
This
yet.
will leave only one thing that council and you in particular, Amanus, will need to decide for this location then. What you will name your new port town you've built?
Oh,
That's like you can think on as I move around if you would like. But
King's Landing? Question mark.
it could be
Wow.
King's Landing if that's what you want.
I'll think about it.
This will also raise the control DC up to 19 now, as you now have a new settlement to manage.
nice.
I mean, our capital is Sorkai, right? How about Sorbet?
Oh wow.
Is it in a
Wow.
bay?
Are we
Because
just exclusively traded ice cream? Like that's just what we're.
That's all it.
if it is located in a bay, I mean sorbet would certainly be
Oh no. Great.
I love it. Yeah.
Everything's gonna be puns.
It's gotta all be puns.
Never let players name anything.
I mean, this is up to you guys what you need.
I love how Dark just shrugs.
Tyler's like, whatever.
Whatever you want.
He just looks at the map and shakes his head. The amount of
Effort I put in for
the
this
amount
name.
of like flippancy in his carefully crafted world.
I don't know if you can
Outrageous.
hear it, but I now have an ice cream truck pulling up behind me. So
Hey, that well, I
Hey.
mean that is
Look, I can tell the future.
hey,
It's fine.
sorbet it is. I
Sorbet.
have seen
That's the universe.
enough of the signs. Yeah. There's an ice cream truck pulling up. It is built
Keep
on
her
ice
onto
in a
something.
bay.
I like it. Let's do it.
Sheep the pun master has spoken. In all the signs.
very well then. Very well then. I will add to the chart then the settlement of Sorbet.
Yes.
Oh.
It's gonna be a groan every time we say it. It's gonna be great.
Great start. Great start, guys.
I know.
It's been 20
the,
minutes and we're already making puns. Reality.
I mean, that's
Our
pretty good.
next town is gonna be gelato. Frozen treats. I don't know. The good thing is that since I'm a tyrannical ruler, I could just declare that we change names of something.
It's true. You can do whatever you want.
Great. It's good to be the king.
Yeah.
That's something at least.
You're welcome, Dirk.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that though, go ahead and check that off as being handled for the time being. As I suppose we'll move to. Let's see. Let's go ahead and handle. Let's do Isaac's next, I think. When we last left off, Isaac was going to scribe the secrets using his ability as a high seer here. Grant says
Yes. Maybe probing the ley lines and whatnot.
Is there a particular location that he goes about for this, or?
He'd probably actually do it like in the caves below Sokai that he hasn't properly explored yet. That seems like an appropriate place.
Very
It's like
well.
charged with ley energies and whatnot.
Okay. Will you please go ahead and give me a skill check just for the council for mystical? Now, admittedly, failure here is probably not an option.
I mean, that's a hefty roll.
You have a lot of mystical on the council.
Our power is prodigious.
37.
Again, handily beats the control DC, but still needed for purposes. Isaac, you spend some time down in the caves trying to connect with the land, connect with the ley lines and all that's moving through it. Isaac finds himself in a place that isn't here, a place that his body isn't, but he is. His mind wandering through this almost ephemeral forest full of trees, but the trees are more than that, you feel like. You feel like each tree, almost like being like a town. And each leaf, a person in it. You see blooming trees all over the place. It's kind of beautiful as you walk through this like silvery, ephemeral realm. You hear distant singing off in one direction, but in the other direction, a strange but almost gurgled cry. Yet another direction, you simply hear what sounds like somber prayer. So, a particular direction you would like to head towards?
I mean, his first instinct would probably to go towards whatever being might be crying over there, or like letting out a cry, because that seems most pressing.
Okay. As Isaac kind of wanders down that path, walking through the life well you've connected to. And as you do so, you begin to notice some of the trees nearby wilting, one by one by one. As many of the trees you start wandering through become very barren close to here. But you see it then, a small well of light in front of you. A small little crack to see back into the real world, to see where this cry is coming from. I assume you want to reach out and look for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
As Isaac does so, you bear witness to what appears to be a fire, a large burning fire. You see buildings all around you, and screams and tragedy, people running and fleeing, fires burning bright, forces, soldiers, all bearing various knightly looking sigils, though none you directly recognize, all moving back and forth, cutting down pretty much everyone they see. As you look around, human knights, but the ones you see, all elves around you, a group of what appears, well, all the elves you can see lying and bloodied on the ground, being stomped, stabbed, all with features of gold or red hair, sharp eyes of amber, gaunt figures. The humans give no mercy. They give no stops here. They simply go through killing almost all on sight and torching this small village in what otherwise looks like a verdant forest. A verdant, almost jungle as you look around, with bright red leaves up in the canopy above. As you see someone walk forward who Isaac does recognize. A woman walk forwards, looking down at one of the elves on the ground who is bleeding and clearly in pain. With golden hair and a small, well, golden embroidery of a crown on her pauldron. She gives a small prayer looking to her sword and gently whispers, "Apologies for your suffering, but this is the only way." As she then, as much of a mercy kill as you can do in this situation, simply just executes the elf on the ground as swiftly as she can. Suddenly pulling Isaac's mind all the way back, rippling, as if his connection was just broken from this. Like a rubber band breaking as his mind goes back to his body.
Well, you said Isaac recognized the woman? Like, who was it?
You would know it, but not from personal experience, but only from like flyers and paintings. That woman is indistinguishable, and even had a slight similarity in facial structure to a certain Amanus nearby. That was none other than definitely Queen Zalia. The Radiant Queen herself.
All right.
And
Huh.
Asmar, definitely very recognizable to you. If something else, because she's recognizable to almost everyone.
Did what he see appear to be happening right now, or was it like a vision of the past?
You are fairly sure what you're witnessing is what's happening right now, at this second.
Huh. Sitting in the presumably a damp, barely lit cave, Isaac ponders for a moment before he'll get up, dust off his robes, his armor, and he'll very much look for Amonas like right away.
We'll move the scene to like the training yard then, where you'll likely find Amanith out there.
Yeah, over there, or either in the sorbet to, sort things out. But otherwise, training yard is a likely find. Yep.
Well, maybe Amonas is in Sorbet. Why not?
Sure,
Yes.
you head down the road then and arrive at Sorbet, seeing like the wooden cranes that currently putting buildings into place.
Isaac does not walk like a peasant. He flies.
And he flies.
Find Amanas probably in the harbor overseeing the last touches. His his dark iron full plate with like demon horns and like skulls and whatnot on it. Cape flapping in the wind, but he himself seemingly immune to most of the cold. As when he's out and about, he's wearing his boots of the Winterland to make him immune to, I think, like temperatures down to like minus 30 or 40 or something.
Mm-hmm. You're safe against everything except the most like polar midnight.
Yeah, it's pretty much to it's easier for him to move around that way, not having like lots of winter clothes on, but also it sends a message of awe and inspiration to his minions. Like Amanas is so fucking awesome, he can just walk in polar night pretty much and be fine.
Yeah, like all the workers and or like the various guards around all have to like huddle around like fires when they're taking breaks.
Yep, not me. What is your flying form, sheep?
So Isaac arrives in the form of a small-sized red-feathered hawk,
Alright.
zooming past through the skies. Sort of, flutters as he slows down right next to Amnes before Isaac materializes in like a hero landing pose. Before he stands up, dusts himself off. Gives like a nod to Amanas, which probably isn't like enough, but that's what he gets. Before he says, Amanas, fancy finding you here. Took me a while to. Haven't actually been here yet. Looks pretty complete.
Nods. Yes, I have put in considerable effort into this project the past months or so. Yeah, he nods, seemingly quite pleased with himself. Looking at the jetties and the docks and whatnot being built, finished up. He looks up and down and like, "You came in a hurry. Is something the matter?"
Yes. It is probably not as pressing as I'm making it out to be, but it worries me, and also I'm very curious. Perhaps we can find a place a bit more private.
Certainly. And you'll go into, I don't know, the closest building, warehouse, or something that just...
There's a nearby warehouse that is like finished, but like nothing, like no goods have arrived to like stored in it yet. So it's pretty empty.
Sure. We'll go in there.
All right. What is your relation, if any, to the good old Radiant Queen Zalia?
Frowns. My sister. Well, it is a drums his fingers a little bit, like on the side of his armor, as he thinks.
Complicated.
That that is a complicated question. Yes, I knew her certainly as my sister when I was still on the throne many decades ago. At this point, but I have had little interaction with her except from official functions and such. I remember her as quite dutiful and steeped in serious purpose. Um, kind in her own right, certainly, and she, he seems to recall, respected me, I think, but probably loathed my layabout nature and slovenly behavior, if I had to guess. In recent times, I don't know. Since the attempt at my life, I have always wondered what role she actually played in that, and I have never found the answer. I don't know if she planned it, or if she just was the one they found to replace me with. Her involvement in my downfall is unsure, and so I am wary of her.
Well, what I can tell you with some certainty is that she seems to be the kind of person who may. That's just me not finding the words. She seems to be the kind of person who does not stray away from doing the things that have to be done, even if they're unpleasant. Long story short, I've been investigating the ley lines below Sokai because they interest me, and in my investigations, my meditations, I had them take me somewhere. I'm curious, wanted to see where it goes. Doesn't exactly matter where, but I believe I've seen your sister killing elves. Blood elves, if I had to guess. Not exactly sure where, other than it was a jungle. And they were burning towns. And, well, there's a word for it, and I believe it is genocide.
Strokes his chin thoughtfully and says, "Yes, that would be likely, as the latest news and information I had on her whereabouts was somewhere in the south. I believe she's enacting some sort of warfare upon the elves to the south. The reason is currently unknown, but I believe we still have a prisoner of sorts of my of Vicus, and yeah, I think Vicus is keeping him company slash prisoner. Some sort of blood elf traveler came here to get a corpse months and months ago. I don't know why we're still keeping him here, but he is here. The
Well, I might
warfare on
want
the
to-
elves is unknown to me. I don't know why my sister has decided to go to war with them exactly.
I'm
But
very interested in finding out the reason for. I assume her actions are the cause for. Well, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not a great scholar. There are druids far better suited than me to do those kinds of things. However, her actions seem to be wilting, hurting the place between worlds, the perhaps some fey realm or another, and that is never a good sign for anyone.
frowns. I am not sure I follow. What would be the implications of this planar infliction?
I don't know if it's planar, but it is appearing to disrupt the natural order of things, the ley lines and such. I don't know what the consequences of it might be, but there's something in me that distinctly is telling me that that is not a good thing. And I usually listen to those instincts.
Hmm.
It might not affect you up here in the north, of course, yet. But this is the sort of thing that is better, how do you put it, nipped in the bud. Not sure how
Well-
much we can do about it, though.
Well, I assume that she had good reasons to go into war, or at least she thinks she has.
Yeah, she seemed hesitant. She seems, if I had to guess, be convinced that it is necessary and not exactly. She does not seem to be motivated by evil thoughts.
Yeah, that would seem likely. The problem is we don't exactly know what faction is currently holding the most sway over her court. I could imagine that the church certainly has the church has firebrands, and the church has been instrumental in waging war upon the elves in the past, seeing them as heretics and well, worshippers of trees and rocks and other such heathen things, which the church certainly does look down upon quite heavily. Back in my day, we had specifically a royal advisor who was in touch with the land. He's now deceased, as you know. But I don't know that my dear sister, in her religious fervor, has kept that position, or if it is now defunct. As such, it could simply be no one to actually stop her or give her a different perspective than that of the church, and power hungry and war happy noble.
Well, I hope you excuse my heresy, but I will prefer rock over priest any day.
Snort. Well, as I think you have seen, Isaac, I keep a much more diverse court than most would do, because I have learned that the many different viewpoints is what makes for good governance. Taking things into a sort of a firm but ideally balanced nature is seemingly what is best. You need a little bit of everything to make this kingdom go around.
I do approve of a balanced nature, as it turns out. Though
Good.
perhaps we mean different things.
I have a sneaking suspicion we might. But nevertheless, I thank you for the insights. This is definitely something to keep an eye on.
There's something else that I haven't quite shared yet. Not because I intend to keep it a secret, but rather because I don't know where it'll lead me yet. You mentioned ley lines below Sokai. There are caves, even, that I've been sort of looking through, infused with what I believe to be elemental magics, perhaps even elemental spirits. And it was in that place that I saw your sister doing these things, so it stands to reason that the elemental spirits of Sokai might have an interest in working against that. Appeasing them might very well not only be in best interest of balanced nature, from my perspective, but rather your kingdom as a whole. You want to keep the elemental spirits in your capital city appeased. That's fact.
Looks thoughtful again and says, well, if you could discern what would be required for such blessings, I would certainly be willing to listen. I do also believe that Ceres, my dear Grand Ambassador, has struck some sort of deal with some powerful ice spirit of sorts up here. One of the ways we got hold of Mikara. Maybe she has some insights on the spirits as well. I am unsure. But if you can discern what would be required for the spirits to be appeased, and if that price is not too steep, then certainly I would be willing to listen. The more power and allies we can gain, the better, as far as I'm.
I'll have another look, but I can't promise anything. I'm just maybe it's far-fetched, but I'm making the connection that if the elemental spirits have shown me that vision, then that might very well be something that they are nudging us towards.
Well,
Or just warning us off. Maybe you already appeased them and they are just giving us helpful hints.
well, Isaac, as the Grand Seer and the most accomplished druid that I know currently alive, I will certainly defer to your expertise in this matter.
It's because you only know of exactly one druid, right?
I knew another one, but he has passed.
I've heard of him. You should tell me about him sometime. Over a drink.
Nice.
Or something along those lines.
Certainly, certainly.
Right, I'll leave you back to your overseeing.
He nods, yes, as he will, walk out and stand sternly looking at the workers on the out on the dockside.
Isaac will, in a flurry of feathers, transform once more and use a second use of wild shape to go back home.
Excellent use of resources. In addition to your short vision quest you got, Sheep, as you scryed for secrets, you may also pick any one of the leadership roles. The next month you'll receive a bonus on rolling that.
I'll pick myself.
Do you want to say mystical gets a bonus?
Yes.
Could get a bonus to military since we are kind of fighting. And our military is very low.
I mean, it is. But these secrets I've seen here are clearly not, like, directly relevant to our current military pursuits. So just from the vision, basically, I think it makes most sense for a mystical part.
Okay.
There's a +2 on there for you then.
Wonderful. Just stacking those bonuses to accomplish something, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever you successfully scry a secret, you always get to apply a bonus to stuff, which is nice. In addition to whatever information you actually learn. Okay. With that, we'll take a quick turn over to just quickly dealing with one of the NPCs here. You had Gillian McFrey reinforcing the city of Freyfrost, building extra defenses around it.
Yeah. Did.
You know what? I guess Valky, why don't you roll for the military role for us?
Sure. What would that be? +17?
Yes? Yes.
Okay. There you go.
I mean, that beat the current DC of 20, so good job.
Yeah. Nice.
Again, nothing terrible has happened.
That's good.
And reinforcement has gone well. He's doing his best to train up a bunch of peasants in the city on how to defend the city. Laying out various makeshift defenses, as well as putting up some extra palisades, doing some repair work to the walls. He's confident that the city can hold itself better, its defense now, in the event it gets attacked. Which is excellent. Lady Ceres,
Yes.
you had decided you wanted to host a state dinner.
Okay.
That was your project, a state dinner for the Lord of the Swan himself,
Oh, yes, that's right. I recall.
the Count of D'Urdeville. Which is completely within your... I mean, that's what you want to do. That's fine.
Yes, because we wanted to butter him up.
I like him just showing up in the name, nothing prepped. You're like, oh right. Oops.
She just shoves her floating disc off to the side that has all the books stacked on it. Like, I totally wasn't completely preoccupied
Yes,
elsewhere.
of course. I have all the time in the world to prepare for you. Yes, yes.
And then she walks into the kitchen. How have you got nothing prepared?
Yeah.
This has been planned for months.
We will see if that's the case with if you get a natural one or not. But
Oh,
why don't
yeah.
you roll a diplomatic roll?
How most of the food vanishes when the seal spent 100 gold on it.
Let's see. I rolled a 3, so
You still beat the control DC. So in fact, you couldn't
Oh, wow.
have failed the control DC, but you nearly natural one. Nearly.
I'm scared
fine.
now.
It's not a natural one.
it's
Which is
alright.
all you need to do avoid.
I beat the control DC. We're fine.
Every time I don't see one, I'm afraid I'm gonna roll it.
The one is always an option. Just hope. Why don't you describe for us exactly what you might have? What exactly have you prepared for the Viscount? In mind for that.
So she wanted to impress the Viscount. She wanted the Viscount to look west over his borders and not see like a fledgling upstart kingdom, but rather a kingdom that was firm in itself with strong allies and a secure home front. So introducing, bringing him in for a state dinner while at war, she wanted to make an impression, and such an impression also meant that she wants to ensure that everything is pristine, that they can pull across the effect that even while at war with a larger neighbor, they were still very much in control. Hoping to show that Duke Salazine Reinhardt is very much on the back foot, and scrambling, showing the weakness of their of the Ashen Court's foe to potential allies.
Very well then. The Viscount does, of course, attend, and with him, of course, bringing a small attaché of his own along. A few bodyguards, which is to be expected, though they mostly hang off to the side, as well as bringing his dear wife along, as well as his sister along as well. Come and sit down and have a nice chat with it all, and just see all the sights that you wish to do. Is there anything particularly you would like to highlight during the state's dinner here? Any tours you maybe want to give of any particular area?
Well, naturally, she'll want to show off the splendor of Sorkai. We've got the statue of Amanas. We have the Mage's Tower, and like the palace is quite grand all in itself.
Yeah, you can see a wonderful picture of the palace. So it's slightly overgrown with plants at the top there, but it's rather grand.
Yeah, so she wants to emphasize their position, possibly overselling it, but he doesn't need to know that.
Very well. You talk up and discuss the grandeur of your great city here. And it does appear the Count is quite you've managed to drag the Count in, entice him with your words. And he does seem to enjoy the tour, being rather impressed by the various sights you give as you, him, and his compatriots head through the city. He's a hopeless romantic and this hopeless, desperate artist in some regards, in many ways. And you can constantly see him. You can constantly hear him making small comments to his wife, like that would make a beautiful scene for a painting there, or like kind of complementing some of the architectural designs. A real sucker for the aesthetics. You've chosen quite well with what to show off to him.
Well, I know, and maybe she overhears this. She would say, "Well, maybe we could put some time aside before you have to go back, and you can enjoy these sites, and I can arrange some supplies if you want to try your hand."
He'll certainly take you up on that offer. Enjoy the full thing of a state dinner and all the luxuries thereof. It's only of a nature to see how much your hosts are willing to provide, as it were.
Art supplies are pretty easy, I think.
After some time, though, he seems very satisfied, and will thank you for the wonderful state dinner. Out of curiosity, would Amonas make himself available for that kind of classic, that kind of classic handshake and quick sit down during the state dinner?
Sure. We could have that. When someone visits the White House, there's like 2 chairs and then like some flowers in between, and they sit.
It's that exact kind of moment, right?
Yeah. Sit
It's
down and
mostly sharing pleasantries back and forth, but the diplomatic image is still that you just took time to meet him.
Oh, certainly. Especially if I have been forewarned. I can certainly make myself available.
I mean, essentially, you had a month worth of notice that this was happening.
I imagine Ceres comes once he agreed. Ceres bursts into Amonas's training, and just we have a dignitary coming. Be good. You gotta shake his hand. Just good appearances, all right? It'll be easy. I won't even make you have to talk to him.
Ambrose is quite good at talking.
Oh, he's very good at talking. He's very charismatic.
He will show up, but as always, in armor and armed, as is his approach here, ever displaying the sort of Iron Warlord sort of aura from him, and his incredible majesty and whatnot.
The Viscount has shown up in this wonderful silken green suit, along with furs.
Yeah, a sneer on Amonas's face.
For a March Lord, he's quite soft for a March Lord.
Yeah, soft
really
hands, shakes his head in
Yeah.
disbelief.
Yeah.
That's fine. Amonas will shake his soft artist hands.
He will, however, thank Amonas profusely for the wonderful tour and dinner that he's had.
Yes. No, Amonas will respond that it is, of course, their pleasure to host such a distinguished dignitary from so far away, and express some minor interest or question that Ceres no doubt has prepped him on. It's like, so I've heard that you paint. Tell me about, or like, so how is the kids? Young Isabella is about to learn to ride soon, right? Some of these fairly,
yes.
Very personal details.
The pleasantries are exchanged back and forth. He does, though you can tell it's slightly forced, but it's still very polite compliment of the skulls on your armor. Him doing his best to see the artistic flair in it, even if it slightly disturbs him.
It's very gothic.
To Amonas, it is his look. First of all, he does project strength and martial prowess. That's sort of his thing, this sort of iron tyrant look. But it is also, in his mind, a way to signal to the good Duke that we can indeed be powerful allies to him, especially considering his orc problem. Maybe in such a time, you need a gritted warlord by your side rather than just, soft artists. difficult to paint the world when it's burning.
He will discuss that with you. You somewhat, and definitely agree in those regards. Him being incredibly thankful that the orcs don't have a way into his territory directly. Though certainly he tells you the stories of like how some of his how his liege and some of his like some of the other viscounts and such have not been so spared because they have more direct connection to the orcs currently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's such a tragedy, you know.
Ah, yes. Well, we are certainly embroiled in our own conflict currently, and aiding with the orcs is at the moment completely impossible, of course. But you know, a bit in the future, maybe something can be arranged.
He nods and thanks you for your input there. And after after the pleasantries are over, he will take his leave from he will take his leave from Sorkai, seemingly rather happy with both your response as well as all the festivities that Sarah's prepared.
We need, of course, to give him a royal gift to commemorate his visit.
Oh.
So we have prepared a you know, like a small what do you call them in English? Is it like a small case that you put like a brush in, and there is like a finely carved brush in the Sorakai like elven style out of ivory, and it like from like some sort of northern beast, like an elk or like some great heart or something like that. So it's like the horn of it has been like carved into the handle of a brush, and then the bristles is of course the fine what do you call it, like the fur of said beast, and then with some sort of like Sorakayan engravings of filigree like on the case.
How fancy.
Well, he likes painting, so there you go.
He does.
You can paint with a northern touch into his works.
With that, he does make his departure back. It is within a few weeks Ceres finds out how well it went down in truth. As well, a personal courier from Daredevil returns back with not only a letter of thanks addressed to His Majesty, but also a painting that Viscount
wow.
Daredevil has done over the last 2 weeks of Amanus,
Oh wow. Fancy.
which is actually really good. Like really good, though it kind of gives anyone other than Amanus kind of a slight chill up their spine looking at it. It looks like he definitely captured the aura of dread in the painting.
That's awesome. Yeah, paint a nice, like realistic painting of Amanus. That's what we need.
We'll of course first of all detect magic on it, so it's not like a scrying mirror in disguise or something.
Yeah, naturally.
The painting is not at all a scrying mirror. There is a tiny bit of magic on it, you notice. Though the magic appears to be in some of the inks designed to draw people's eyes to it.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
That's
Enchantment.
fine.
I like it.
Yeah, we will need to hang it in a prominent place, of course. Like the council chamber or something.
Just so you can have a giant dread picture of Amanus on the wall.
Yeah, exactly over the place he usually sits. So he has a portrait of a large.
Even if Amanus is absent, he's still there.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
put it in like you could put it in like the like hall, the sort of like town hall, I guess, where civilians go to like address the government, and he's just there,
Yeah.
like
City
as
hall.
they walk in, yeah, like city hall, behind the
where
front
Elias
desk.
was council.
Yeah, Amanus is just watching over them.
In separate is also a letter of thanks from the Viscount's sister, who came along and took a tour as well. Though she doesn't seem to be quite as like overwhelmingly artsy as her brother was. But still giving her thanks for everything and complimenting how safe she felt walking around your city.
It's very safe.
It's
Very safe.
very safe. All the
Just
fighting
people
is further
getting
south.
murdered in alleyways like behind her, like so they don't do anything.
How safe. And
We've-
watched for some reason.
We've had these like cleansing before. Right?
Oh god, yeah.
We had the purge the day before.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd only just finished washing the streets.
God.
You can still smell it in the air.
Those aren't ruby bricks for sure.
Anyone who misbehaves gets sent to the blood bank.
We're horrible people, just saying.
You know.
Why our dread isn't higher, I do not know.
Mostly
Yeah,
because
so-
the public doesn't know about the acts in question. As
Yeah,
much.
they don't know about it.
They'll never know.
However, Lady Rayla will actually have included a small gift in her envelope as well.
Oh.
A ring of protection.
Ah,
Oh, wow.
Well, that's fancy.
fancy.
That's great.
Who wants a ring of protection?
I don't have an attunement slot.
Me
I think
neither.
it's attunement. Right?
I think
It
so.
does require achievement, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't.
Ooh.
I got a fancy
our
book.
dear-
So
Does our dear Isaac have a slot?
How about Isaac? Yeah.
I think it gives you like AC.
How does that work in 5th edition? I already have items that give me bonuses to AC and saving throws.
Just
I
has plus one
don't
bonus. There's no typings, so
I think it
think
just
they
stacks.
stack, yeah.
Oh, that would be very good then.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think it's Saki is not from same source.
yeah, as long as there's like different things giving the bonuses. So.
Yeah,
so
if you
have
had
cloak
a
and
if you had a
ring.
cloak of protection and a ring of protection, they would stack with each other. So I think any other bonuses would.
The
Detect.
two things I mechanically really care about are sources of AC that work in wild shape and con saves for concentration saves. And that
Oh,
can
there you go.
come up both.
I'll do it.
I think the 3-slot achievement basically covers like you can't just stack a bunch of items on top of each other. They just give you a limit instead, so you can do that to a certain. So yeah, take it. I mean, if you have a slot.
Sure, I'll take a fancy ring.
I think
Sure.
the only limit is that you can't have like a ring of protection +1 and a ring of protection +2.
Yeah.
There is only ring of protection. There isn't plus 1, 2.
What?
There's no greater ring of protection, I don't think.
No, it's just
Oh,
ring of
okay.
protection.
Oh well, never mind then.
There's not Pathfinder land with up to +5s lying around.
Yeah,
somewhere.
no, just ring of
If it's the
protection.
same magical source, then no. But otherwise, stacked up. Yeah,
You can't just wear like an entire hand of just rings of protection.
yeah. Well,
I mean, you
yeah,
can,
you
but
wouldn't
only
get any
one.
benefit. You wouldn't get any benefit, but yeah.
At,
Yeah,
at
only
that
one
point,
gives the benefits.
at that point, I call it the bling of protection.
Mhm.
Everyone would be like, "You're really stupid." So I don't know how much of a fashion statement that would be.
It's part of the set.
Oh yeah.
Ah, set item.
Oh
Right.
boy, that's just
That was
weird.
a thing in 4th edition. Great.
Protection gauntlet. Yes.
But yes, yeah. Other than that, Rayla's letter. Otherwise, just simply goes through her tour and discusses the situation. She does compliment the handsome look of Amanus in it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hmm.
Well, my lady.
And at least based on her text alone, did not seem at all perturbed by him.
Hey. All right, put her on the list as potential candidates.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sure that Ceres has such a list somewhere.
I know, but it's just
Oh,
like put her on
absolutely.
the list.
No,
Seems
there's
so dehumanizing.
there's
She
a
has-
list, and she's just been moved into the might actually be tolerated category.
And then she has
Won't
like
be murdered.
long calculations about like what type of offspring it would be. It would be like a dog breeder, you know?
Yeah, yeah. She's got like Crusader Kings 3 stats on everyone.
Yes. Yep.
With that though, that resolves the state dinner.
Hooray.
Huzzah!
Which moves us to next. Next, I'm actually going to move the camera upwards as we head up to the top of the Great Spire in Sorkai, to the arcane forge upon its rooftop. Not close enough. Someone has been working away there for the last, several weeks in a project to reforge Zolzir.
Oh yes.
Now, given it's your weapon being the one reforged, I think the consequence or benefit of a natural one should go to you to roll.
Uh-huh.
Thank God, I wasn't
Please
going to roll
roll
that.
Please roll. Since this is Raiden, Raiden is mystical. Yes. Please
Yeah.
roll mystical.
Oh boy.
You get a 30. Oh, that's next month. Sorry.
Only,
Okay.
only plus 5. The plus 2 doesn't go until next month.
Do I have an inspiration? Can I spend it?
Oh, if any of you don't have inspiration, you have inspiration right now.
Can I
Use
spend
ins-
inspiration on this?
It was definitely the sorbet comment that got us in.
100%.
I mean, if you really want to spend your inspiration on it, sure.
I mean, there's a
really
plus
want this to go
30.
good.
Like-
I really don't want the natural one.
It's just if you natural one. That's the only chance of failure here.
What is it that can you spend inspiration
Or you
after the
roll-
fact
Nice.
to like re-roll?
I think it's before.
Only before.
Yeah,
Hmm.
totally before.
Yeah.
I will spend my inspiration here because I am keen on this going good. That's pretty good. Let's do it again.
Jesus Christ.
So,
No natural ones, but you still made sure you still had to just be sure.
Yep,
45 in
45. In 5th edition, like even in Pathfinder, I would be like, oh boy.
Admittedly, the DCs are slightly different for the court stuff, but
yeah, I suppose.
Raiden has been working away diligently for the last month. Though perhaps for some, Zolzir, who's a weapon which you've had for the last, like
For a long
6
time.
months of your campaign, effectively.
Yeah.
Seeing it slowly lowered into the Molten Magma Forge,
Yes.
its energy being infused into that of the forge. It takes him some time. It's a difficult project.
Yes.
But it is perhaps you're returning back from Sorbet,
Hmm.
and you receive a message at the gate as you're coming in that you're being requested by the Forge Master.
Then I shall be present.
As you head up the long spiral tower, the only bane being the sheer number of stairs.
Yes.
As you enter into the room and you see and you can see Raiden currently sitting down at a grindstone, currently sharpening a rather, well, it's definitely not a great sword anymore.
Yes.
As he does appear to be holding in his hands a ebony black halberd with gold engravings and inlays.
Yes.
And as you kind of get closer, you can hear a sparking of electricity in the air. The sound of a distant storm cloud, even though you can't see one.
Mm-hmm.
Raiden looks up to you, wiping the sweat off his brow. It's very hot in the forge room right now. Incredibly hot.
Mm-hmm.
This is equivalent to like Dwarven Magma Forge hot in here. It's
We are forging something unique.
as Raiden does one final quench on it before showing you the newly reforged Zolzir, the Storm of Terror.
Yes.
This halberd was reforged from its namesake, a weapon of the giants and Skaldi. This dark steel halberd gently crackles even at rest with the faint sound of electricity. Engraved upon its handle in Celestial is words of your sacred oath to douse the flame of hope.
Yes.
I will go ahead and... Are you okay with me publicly revealing the stats for it? Or
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, then that's fine. It's not going to let me. Oh, I don't have a pop-up function that I can just do. In that case, I'll take a screenshot of it for everyone.
Okay.
The forging went very, very well. You can thank that 45 sitting in chat.
Nice. Thanks, 45.
Thanks, 45.
Thanks, Mysticals. It sounds like a superhero team.
I've got it and put it in chat for you, but I will read it out in full for you as well.
Alright.
There's +2 halberd. Has 4. Firstly, just as a thing, it does an extra. In addition to its basic hit, also does an extra 1d12 lightning damage.
Oh
on a hit.
God.
Alright.
When this magical halberd has 4 charges. When holding it, you may spend an action. You may, as an action, expend 1 charge to cause also to call down a bolt of heavenly lightning upon yourself. You take no damage, but all creatures in 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened.
Hey.
Foes who are frightened by this cannot use their reactions. They must use any means they have to try and escape from you if they can. Otherwise, they cower. Any creature who ends its turn cowering in your aura takes 1d12 lightning damage.
Oh god, you have another fear aura damage dealing.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Alternatively, you may spend 1 charge to call lightning as a 4th level spell.
Stacks with your like immobilized fear thing. Now
Yeah.
they just start taking lightning damage.
Oh my god, so they're going to take psychic damage and lightning damage. You can't,
Yes.
you're not allowed to walk through the streets anymore.
I mean, the lightning damage only happens if he uses Zolzir to frighten them.
That's
Okay.
true.
This was the whole project of reforging Solstice was to give me another source of fear as well. Like I have reach and fear. I am very difficult to get rid of now if I'm close by.
Are you satisfied with?
Yes,
With-
I am. I'm quite satisfied. Thank you.
Yeah, it should have only been a +1 version of the weapon, but since you hit 45, it's now +2 instead.
Hey,
Hey.
I found my forever weapon. I don't think I'll ever change out of
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, +2 weapon at our level is insane.
It is. You have that like the world sort of groans and creaks as Amanas reaches out and like lightning surges gently from the soul seer into his gauntleted hand and then just snaps into it as if they were made for each other as the power surges. And he slams the butt of it into the ground, the whole tower shaking for a split second.
Raiden looks exhausted, but is also kind of has a like prideful look on his face as he kind of looks at you holding it.
Yeah, no, he as will look to Raiden and say, Lord Raiden, this weapon is magnificent. You have truly outdone yourself and, dare I say, most other artificers in the realm. I have never seen a blade its like.
Good thing you kept me around then, isn't it, my lord?
He smiles. Yes. And I am also satisfied that you have decided to stick around. He holds the blade up, looks at the runes and the magical seals and whatnot engraved upon it, traces the celestial oath down the side of the hilt, smiling to himself, and says, "With this, I shall be a true terror in the battle."
I imagine so. Though, word of warning, the tower's looking pretty empty now. That took almost all the magic we had to do this.
Yes. Ah, good. Good.
Raiden looks over at some of the magical crystals in the tower that are like only gently glowing now.
Yeah. No, Amanas has a rather bloodthirsty look and smile on his face. This weapon needs to be sanctified in the blood of his enemies. He has the urge to crush and destroy and just subjugate anyone who just dare say anything to him at this point. This is incredible power.
It's entirely possible why Raiden will be known for a war crime in future, but yeah, the weapon crafting went incredibly well.
Hooray!
Raiden's nickname is now Oppenheimer.
Yes. Raiden Hammer. Oh, let's see. Is there an element I can import in Beyond for this, or do I need to create it myself?
This will need to be created, unfortunately.
Okay, I can fiddle with it.
Sadly, I haven't been on D&D Beyond in a while, so I haven't been able to create this item properly on there.
Perfectly fine. I am sure I can figure it out.
Regardless, though, yeah, this is a very interesting weapon.
Yeah, this is quite powerful. It is like up there with an artifact, I should think.
Also, only partly possible because you spent that extra time researching Zolzir before reforging it.
Yes, it was. I felt it was a good idea to fully understand the blade before doing anything with it.
But you did all the prerequisites for it, and you rolled incredibly well. So
Yeah.
this is the version you got.
Hooray! Is quite good.
So no, the spell check should be every dawn, not ever dawn at the bottom, but that's fine.
Is
I've added it to your character sheet, I believe, so it should be on there.
hey, okay,
So you
sweet.
can use it. So in game, you can use it happily just now. You're free to give it a swing in chat if you really want to.
You can give it an inaugural swing, I think. Still have the try into fish command. I keep forgetting that I have, but I do. All right. Solstice the Great Sword, goodbye. Thank you for your great service.
Sadly, you are no more.
Yep, you are no more.
You have been reborn as something new. And with a much longer handle.
See here. Configure how you would like to use Solstice. Does open 4 charges. Consume available usage. Place measured template. No thanks. All right.
Obviously, because it can do the like radius around you, but
Yes.
not bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Also, the good old D12s of lightning damage bouncing around now.
Yep. Yep. D12 is a big dice.
Not bad, he said. That's insane.
Average damage would probably be roughly the same as the greatsword, because the greatsword has like more base damage potential, but the higher ceiling here is the
And
draw for
the
sure.
fact that you have charges that you can use as well, remember?
Yes.
So good.
But essentially, after you activate the charge and frighten people, you essentially just like lightning and then arcing off of it to like everyone nearby. So,
See, I think the damage calculation might be off. I don't think it takes into the +2 into account. I see my strength here
+2 from which bit was that?
from the enchantment.
Is it not? It's not applying that. No, is it?
No, not on. It did on hit, but not on damage.
Let's go ahead and I'll correct that now. Then there we go. That will now be fixed.
Hey. There we go. That was almost minimum damage. Hooray! Alright, that's great. Thank you very much.
I know that's been something Amnesty is planning for a while.
Yeah. It's been in the works for
It costs
a
a lot
long,
to do,
long while.
but hey, that's fine.
I weapon-wise, I'm set forever now.
Okay, so that's done. That's done. I think next I am going to go. Come on, Valky. It is time for what Vickers is up to.
Yes, I'm studying target.
Yes.
Princess Elaine Reinhardt, what are you up to?
Let's see how your investigation goes. Again, I somewhat doubt you're going to fail this roll.
We'll see. I will also use my inspiration on this because I want to do really well.
You don't want to
So
screw up the security roll.
yes, and I also want to hopefully do really well. So let's see. 32. Okay. Okay, that's good. And then so 52. That's a crit actually.
That is a crit.
So we'll take that.
Okay, then.
52. Jesus.
Yeah.
That is among the highest rolls I've ever seen, I think.
Bounded accuracy in 5th edition, not in this game.
Again, Kingdom stuff is slightly skewed things for reasons, though, but
I break the mold. It's fine.
that is still ridiculously high. Okay. Vickers has sent various feelers out over the last month, and well, it did not take long for your network to start picking up her trail. Your target, Elaine Reinhardt, the young and prestigious mage, in charge of the Elemental Project for good old Duke Reinhardt. She is, by all accounts, a powerful and dangerous mage. Sanctioned officially by the church, though apparently even with a level of controversy when she was being sanctioned. As even with Duke Celsine's influence, they were slightly alarmed at how powerful her innate sorcery is.
Okay.
And apparently some members of the Church's conclave, even with his grand influence, thought that she might be a bit of a danger. Which is good to know. She spends much time away, actually, from Greater Elsend, traveling, it seems. Spending much time heading to other nearby regions, especially, as you have heard, to the nearby Shattershield Conclave. Where apparently, for her voracious mana appetite as being such a powerful sorcerer, she goes there personally to try and find mana crystals, to personally inspect them herself, trying to find the best quality ones for her powers. In fairness, Vickers can understand that to a degree. If you're that powerful, you probably do need very high quality ones to get it right.
Yes.
You have with this, in addition to learning a very detailed profile about her, you also have managed to intercept an itinerary schedule. You know the next time she'll be heading to Shattershield Hall, and it is before the ritual date.
Okay.
It might be an opportunity to try and catch her.
Yes. I think that would certainly be a priority message sent to the king that we have an opportunity here. Perhaps one of his now established rudders. They just have to go walk around himself, do everything. The king is informed.
Well, if you know for for a fact that she's going to Shattershield Hall, that is definitely when we need to hit her.
Yeah.
Leaving the Duke's territory is probably your best time to try.
Yes, absolutely. Set that in motion for sure. Put that on the list. Next stop, killing her.
Okay. In addition, does Vickers have any particular questions he would like to ask about her, given you rolled so high? You can ask some questions if desired.
What's the manner of her sorcery? Where does she draw her sorcerer's powers from?
Her sorcery comes from Duke Salcine, very carefully choosing his not wives, but like mistresses,
Right.
and in particular, very carefully choosing a mistress, apparently from quite far to the south, who, by long tracing and lineage, um, contains rather strong blood um, of genies.
Oh, I see.
Hence why she is the focus for this ritual to summon one.
And the I guess the resources for this ritual, is she pulling from the mana reserves that we've already established? The Duchess had been like planting her scales. Is that going to be used for that ritual as well, or is that
It does not appear so. It appears for this ritual she is using her own personal supplies.
Right, and the other one's just for like the supplies for the military, like
Supplies for the military and supplies for the Duke himself.
right. Okay, I know. Uh,
You will also know she tends to travel in disguise.
hey.
She does not openly say necessarily who she is. She just frequently goes to purchase mana crystals, though.
Right. And the Shadow Shield Conclave is from haven't we have we hired mercs from there before?
You have hired merch from there before. Actually, in fairness, currently your arbalists were actually gifts from them.
Yeah, so I feel like we have a perhaps reaching out to them first to see if we can establish some sort of deal with them to help us root her out if she is in disguise. That might be a better course of action than us going alone.
Randomly assaulting people in the street.
Exactly. Like they need to be aware of what's happening here, and they might even be able to help us out, or at least turn the eye, so to speak. If we can assure their neutrality, that'd be
You
nice.
currently have positive trade relations with them, which is good.
Yes, I'd like to keep it that way.
Are you happy with that information?
I am very happy with that information. I'm just trying to think of a question that I would ask other than what I know currently or what I've found out. Like, what's her like? How loyal is she to the Duke? Like, is she doing this out of like duty, or like has she been? What's her upbringing, so to speak? Like, she seems well traveled. So my question is whether or not she wants to do this, or she's by birth forced to by duty. To see what her temperament is.
You have heard from your various spies and contacts that she and her father argue a lot. And we're not talking like typical like teenage girl arguing with dad situation. We're talking like it gets serious to the point of like counterspell offs in the middle of the foyer.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's a pressure
They
point.
do not always see eye to eye.
Okay.
Apparently she definitely has more of a desire to explore and travel and potentially go see her mother's homeland deep in the south.
Hey.
But at the same time, obviously, her father has enough sway to still keep her here.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, also, all the mana crystals are getting out of his wallet.
Yeah. Of
So,
course.
Question.
Mhm.
Since Ciel is kind of from south, would she know anything about that mother's side of the family? If this information is, brought to council or anything like that.
it would be much deeper south than where you were in the Empire.
Okay.
In this case, it would actually be beyond even the Blood Elves' forest, a little bit further deeper than that, where the temperate climates turn to desert. An area known as a Siren.
I think with that is all I want to know. I'm happy with that information.
Okay. Okay, let's see here. You would also send one of the things you had done is also for under Rochelle is asked her to go out to try and look for specialist artisans and craftsmen.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly what the group was wanting her to find a craftsman for, if it was even specified or not. Let's have a double
Trying
check.
to remember.
Was this a? I'll double check my notes.
I think we just wanted like something to trade with, like something specialty.
Yes.
Um,
This was simply to try and get better commerce and
yes.
trade goods. Okay. Halldamir, why don't you roll for this one?
Okay. What am I rolling?
Roll for initiative, please.
Plus 21. Boop. 40.
Okay.
It's almost a crit.
Almost a crit. Oh.
Rochelle has been hard at work, speaking to her various merchant contacts and trying to convince tradesmen to come to the arse end of the world over here. Your mileage will vary necessarily on how much people want to come to the arse end of the world, as you might understand. But that said, there are some specialist artisans out there who, even to somewhere like this, could be convinced. Let's see here. And that was a 40 you rolled there. Okay. Interesting. Okay. You receive 3 potential options for ones you can invite, which you as a group will get to decide which you wanted to go for. Could bring in an expert jeweler, specialized in using various high quality gemstones, which can definitely be found in just the sheer mountains near this region. An expert dwarven armor smith, or an expert wand crafter.
What was the first one?
Expert jeweler.
Hmm. I mean, ones are really good. We have 3 people that could potentially use wands in the repertoire. Fairly straightforward, right?
Anyone can use a wand as long as they have.
I forget, honestly.
I'm pretty sure that anyone can use a wand in 5e.
I think so in 5e, yeah.
Scrolls
No.
no, but wands are just like you use it, you
Click
like
it.
you say a word and it does the thing. Like you don't need spell casting like Pathfinder. I think.
Okay, well, either option is pretty good then.
I mean, I feel like if we want to like show off like our riches that we're accumulating up north here, then we should go for the jewel crafter, right?
Yeah.
The ostentatious rings.
Yeah.
It's also
I
worth
mean-
noting that other than like certain wands, most of them require attunement as well. In 5e, I believe. So, might not even have the capacity for that.
Oh, do they?
The magic missile doesn't, but I think some of the other ones like fireball do.
Some
So,
do, some don't.
Yeah.
Right.
depends.
Wand of fireballs. Good lord. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, or the jeweler, that'll be like rings of protection and stuff like that. That does almost always require attunement as well.
I'm always biased towards dwarf, so I don't think I should put a decision.
Whichever one you pick, it will also have just an effect on the local economy in one way. or another.
Yeah.
I think it is easier to like the jeweler can probably be and create fancy jewelry for people and sell just fine regardless. While the wand maker, that's a bit trickier. Like he has a very select clientele, right? So maybe the jewel maker is more all round and better for that reason.
No, I'd agree with that.
Jewel maker might also work if they can, craft things from the mana crystals, which we have plenty. They might be
Yeah.
more dangerous, but
That's true.
Why build a wand of fireballs when you could build a necklace of fireballs?
There you
That's
go.
what everyone wants to wear. That's what everyone was basically wearing a piece of uranium around your neck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think the jeweler is a good like all-rounder choice. It has many different markets, so to speak. And we already have a Royal Forge Master if we want like specific arms, I feel. So having a expert artisan in jewels might be good.
Okay, then. The expert jeweler does very quickly find himself clientele, especially with your road open to Silverswift, who very quickly seem to become popular customers of some of his wares.
Yay.
This will add +2 to the income from Sorkai itself. Go ahead and update.
More money. Woohoo.
Okay. Which, more money is never a bad thing. Especially given you want loads of expensive stuff.
Yep.
Finally, Auntie Makara was doing some research projects on Foth the Everfrozen. Though I believe that was something primarily which you, Halldamir, were interested in.
Yes, I believe so.
I'll confirm that her research has definitely bore some fruit here. But let's just quickly see how much. Sheep, do you want to give another roll?
Sure. What do I roll?
This will be mystical, because it's Makara doing it.
All right. That means I get the +2, right?
No, because that'll be for next month for the +2 will come from.
Next month. All right. So it's just +30. It is 36.
Okay. A completely respectable amount. Nothing compared to the 50 over there, but
Can I use an inspiration to re-roll it?
Inspirations to be declared before the roll.
Hello.
It takes some time, but Makara does seem to do her best to look through many of the notes left behind by Toff the Everfrozen, and compile them together, sifting and sorting through what she can, and deciphering some of the mad ramblings there within. Of the Ever-Frozen, as you were already aware, a high elven arcanist who came to this place long after it was originally abandoned by the elves before then, turning it into his own personal sanctuary for research. The details of which seem grim in some regards now you look at them in their full detail. Trying to find ways to use the power of frost and ice to achieve many things, including what even looks like research into rather unusual elementally bound creatures, including something referred to in great detail as an ice wight. Ice wight?
Mm-hmm.
How you pronounce that form of undead properly?
Ice white, yeah.
He appeared to be eclectic and ever just kind of obsessed with the bitter cold. Determined to reach ever colder temperatures and ever deeper power, as if to appease something simply referred to in the documents as well, the heart ice, whatever that is.
Interesting.
Either way, though, his research is very detailed and, though, also kind of unnerving, but interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It also includes several variations on commonly known spells. They've all just been readapted to ice.
Oh. Could Ceres, copy those into her own spellbook?
You could.
Oh.
And since you're not a sorcerer but a wizard now,
I'm a wizard.
instead of you having the option to replace spells, you can just add these to the book if you want to,
Ah.
including a frost fireball,
Okay.
Snowball.
because of course he went with a frost fireball. What else do you
Ice
remember it?
shards or something, Yeah, sure.
Thank God, no more blowing up like ammunition warehouses.
Oh yeah, it's the ammunition safe option.
The friendly fire haha option. All right, well,
Mm-hmm.
But it also includes, one second.
I see. He's thrown a fireball, blown himself up, and he's been like, I need to fix this.
These spell flame arrows, but now ice arrows.
that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where is the other one? Yes, and also a unique variation on a classic spell. With what is simply named the Iced Heart Arrow.
Okay.
This is a variation on Melf's Acid Arrow, which deals frost damage for the target.
Interesting.
However, it's a transmutation effect instead of a evocation. And in the event that the target, in the event that this spell kills a target, they're just frozen into an ice statue.
Okay. Method of ice statue garden. Okay. Gotcha.
Also, flesh to ice.
Flesh
Ah.
to ice. I love that. Okay.
Note, there is no ice to flesh.
That's fine.
There is
Never,
fireball.
There
Never,
is,
never figured that out. Yeah.
Yeah, we just
there
never
is no
figured out.
reverse spell in the book anyway. There is only flesh to ice.
So we can put them in carbonite, but we don't know how to take
No.
them out of carbonite. Gotcha.
No.
Surely we'll figure that out later. Like,
It's a next research
You
project.
know,
There's also some classic spells now, like Wall of Ice, if you're interested in something like that as well.
yeah, I'll take whatever.
Does it have what's that called, like Polar Midnight or whatever it's called, a level 8 spell?
Not that I could cast it yet, but in the future.
Sadly, he does not.
Have to have complete reckless disregard for your own safety.
He does have Ice Storm, if you're interested in that.
I
Ice-
think I have Ice Storm. Don't know. Yeah, I've got Ice Storm.
There we go then. But it's definitely an interesting thesis if it's slightly maddening to read.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly known for being particularly sane.
No.
But I'll take it. I like the ice vibe.
Oh yes, Aaron says Armor of the Black Lord.
Yep.
Yes, Valky helpfully reminded me of that, so I've added that as well
And
to
I need
my sheet.
in
Yeah,
my
whenever someone whose level is like half yours, they take slightly different when they punch you.
Be amusing to see who is half my level who wants to try to fight. But,
I mean,
But
you can still
if they
imagine that
do-
being very right. Like you can still imagine like some person comes up to you, punches you in the armor. You don't bother dodging. They punch it and they just fall over.
Let's
It'd
just
be very
die.
good when I get so unpopular that people start attacking me in the streets, because then I can just take care of riots by myself and just walk out.
Just stand there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice work, Isa. That's great.
Doug, I did see. I don't have my book in my inventory.
Oh yes, I'll have to add that for you.
Yeah, please.
I can do that in the future.
It will be important eventually, I'm sure.
Probably. With that though, that covers all of the events of the month that has just gone.
I had a quick question.
Yes.
I did believe I asked Scaldy to find something for me. I don't know if that's part of the.
Do you remember what that was? Just so I can look for my notes for it.
I believe I asked them to find if they could find any psychically attuned items in like.
You did, yeah.
Yes.
There's a bane of being off for a while. I forget what I wrote in my own notes somewhere.
Yeah.
The notes pages are long.
Because I was harkening back to the
Mm.
tomb that we found.
Yes.
That the Scaldy clearly had psionic among them, so perhaps there's
Some did
something.
at least,
found.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That is definitely something. One moment, please.
Yep, no problem.
Let us see here.
That is awesome, Valky. It's awesome, Isa.
All me, yeah, exactly.
It's Valkyrie,
No,
sure.
Wow. He's been drawing so diligently.
I have mind controlled eyes to draw for me.
Very specific spell.
I do not.
Yeah.
I don't question what Vickers can do anymore.
Yes. The whispers, they're strong.
Also, I noticed a funny detail going into the actors tab that
Yes.
I can see like my folder, Vickers'
Yeah.
folder, Isaac's folder, but there is no Amanas folder. He is an enigma.
It's not available for such people as you.
I mean, CL is just always invisible to everyone.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
yeah.
just
And
so
Seal's
good at
not there. That's the-
Oh, she's not a vampire yet, I guess, but
Ah.
soon.
She is.
One
She's just
day.
hiding it.
And
Oh, there we go.
poor Hound of Ill Omen doesn't exist anymore. Ceres can't
Oh.
It
draw him
does. It
out.
does. It's in the
He's
summons.
there, but she can't draw him out
Hey,
of the
Oh,
Halldamir.
shadow.
He lives as long as we remember him, all right?
Yeah,
He
our
lives in our hearts.
Yeah, he lives in our
No,
hearts.
no, he
now.
doesn't.
Oh
No.
no!
Oh,
He was my favorite.
axed. At least your Tressum is there, right? That's
My
your
Tressem's
replacement.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
My Tressem's
The
wonderful.
Tressum of ill omen.
The Tressum of Ill Omen. We'll turn her picture to a black cat now.
Do you have
Okay,
to
yeah.
paint him, spray paint him black?
Yeah. We'll just spend a spell slot for like minor illusion.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do that.
There we go.
You can even have a major illusion for it.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. Make
Just like it's like avatar form is like size of Sorkai, just huge Tressum.
we just prank the entire city one day with
Yeah.
a giant cat.
Ah, it's the
Yes.
festival of the Tressum of Illumin.
Yes, would do that, most certainly. No question asked.
The
At-
Tressum of Ill Omen, that's the
At your
name.
request, Valky,
Yes.
Tabitha of Raelos has indeed come back after having scoured through the various Skaldi stories, the oral traditions of her people. And she will confirm, of course, what you already knew, that some Skaldi, especially several of the old Skaldi killed kings the Empire killed, were psychically charged.
Yeah.
So Tabitha kind of just makes a backhanded joke about them being crystal munchers.
I mean, he laughs at that.
A well-to-known image for Vicus, though.
Oh yes, very much so.
I believe he
He's
doesn't
not-
go crunching his ones.
No, he crushes them and then he eats them.
Powdered uranium.
Yes.
Well, there are some records of what should be surviving pieces of old mesmeric equipment, if you're that interested. Though it's... They're kept sealed away in deeper locales. I understand old tombs are not something that people usually venture into.
Yes, naturally so. Well, I suppose you could let me know those locations. Perhaps I will look whenever I can.
I know of two such charged objects of interest. Conveniently, both of them in the same tomb, if you're so inclined.
Ah, lovely.
One of them, I've been informed, is some kind of eye. The particular king who had this was said to be able to see things that he should not have been able to, as if his eye was that of a bird. Either way, it appears his actual eye calcified with crystals.
I see.
It may still hold residual powers of divination, if you're so inclined to carry around someone's crystalline eyeball.
He kind of like absent-mindedly like touches his eye patch, like thinks for a moment.
Looking for a replacement?
Perhaps.
Beyond that, there's also stories in that same tomb of there being... I don't fully understand them, perhaps you do, but memory resonances, some kind of crystal in tuned with memories of the past.
He nods. Says, I have had a similar experience, I believe, before.
Either way, though, such tomb will not be the easiest to delve through. Such a place appears to be overrun by psychic fragmentations and the dead. And not even my dead for once. She almost sounds shocked that it's not her fault.
Yes, well, I would be surprised if it was just free to take. I thank you for giving me this information.
You are more than welcome. I am enjoying our business relationship we seem to have back and forth.
Glad.
As it stands, it's been quite fascinating for us to watch. Just seeing the people who once drove us to the very edge of the world now fighting each other in this way. Though it does appear, though admittedly, your current ruler seems far more tolerant of us than previous.
Turns out that when you see people for who they are and not, well, just so, then perhaps you have a better look at things, so to speak.
Perhaps, but even so, your churches have never been the most fond of my tribe in particular, given we hold a strong courtship with our gods of the dead.
He nods.
I don't see why. I find great comfort in that there'll be an eternal party after death, don't you? Go to the drinking halls of the undying, join your old brethren.
Well, if there's a party waiting for me, then I will be happy to wait for it.
He smiles. When you desire to go to this tomb, I can lead the way, though I won't be able to enter it. Our traditions bar me from entering this barrow, unfortunately.
That is fair. The current war circumstance might prevent me from going immediately, but be assured I will find you in time.
She nods. As Tabitha will take her leave.
All right.
With that, we will now move to the. We've now completed the previous things. Now, time for me to quickly handle the event phase here. During the last month, there's been something rather unusual spotted around the city of Sorkai. It started out something insignificant, but seems to have gotten worse. At first, it was the bakery reporting that the oven just burst into flames. The local fire brigade obviously blamed it on them not paying attention. Then it happened at the church and a noble villa. And then many other places around town, just all reporting just kitchen fires. People aren't entirely sure what's going on, but it has people unnerved, significantly so.
Well, there was certainly some fiery omens from the seer, so probably has something to do with it.
Unrest increases by 1 due to this. In addition, a group of skirmishers apparently have managed to try to attack Freyfrost during the month. Though they were repelled by Freyfrost's defenders, with minimal casualties, partly thanks to the new defences. The attacker, unsurprisingly, was some of Stalcein's men. Everything seems fine for the time being. Now go to maintenance phase. We're just going to go ahead and handle some things. So firstly, you gain back 5 mana to the tower
Yay.
from Makara's work. The treasury now receives 21 ducats, which puts us at, what, 49? 49.
We're so close to that airship, guys.
Yep, for sure.
So close. Okay, that gets that done. Before we proceed with anything proper, anything further, Sir Gillian McFrey, your marshal, would like to have a meeting with the council, if that's all within reason.
Sure, let's have a meeting.
Big meeting.
Sir Gillian will call everyone to attendance. And thank you all for coming. As well, your marshal, understandably, has had a heavy workload over the last month. Phrase token that as well. Well, you also have the silver marshal with you as well, assisting from your wonderful neighbours.
Yes.
As Sir Gillian McFrey kind of looks over to all the council and sighs a little bit. So I have a status update regarding the ongoing sieges and attacks pushing forward.
Yes.
We have managed to successfully take the border force keep dividing us from Greater Elsend on our border,
Right.
though it does appear that we've suffered some casualties.
Right.
Somewhat expected, but regardless, casualties are casualties. As Sir Gillian will inform you that it appears that your peasant militia group that you've got, as well as this particular infantry unit, both are both basically have been severely injured.
Okay.
If it's all okay with the court, I'd like to draw manpower from our reserves to make up the numbers.
Yep.
Place them in.
Do it.
He nods. He'll go ahead and eat 200 manpower then from the holdings
Yep.
to replenish troops. He'll take 100 from Vanderheimer, 100 from Solkai. There we go.
Yep.
Other than that, though, the keep is now under our control, giving us a nice strategic front here and a good place to launch from on our front.
Was this the keep we hid out in for a while?
It was the keep you previously hid out, and they then took control of.
Right. All right. Good. Then, yeah, that's a good forward position.
As Kiana speaks up, on our front, we have managed to take the easternmost city. The westernmost city. They're very mixed up directions of Elsend. Is that right? Yeah, it's western. Yeah. For some reason, my brain struggled in directions there for a second, even though there's a compass on the damn screen. It's fine. With that, though, it appears that Lord Reinhardt did not want to evacuate peacefully, as he decided to take a scorched earth retreat back to his capital, torching much of the western countryside on the way out.
I see.
This obviously is going to present an issue when it comes to logistics of moving supplies. We can't forage off the land particularly there, so everything will have to be brought in. My lady has donated a supply unit, though it may not be enough depending on how many troops you want to send on that flank.
Well, need to try to keep sending, pretty much. The battle plan was for the pincer maneuver, I believe.
Well, our hope is to try and push up through the scorched land and so we can approach and we can start from both sides. Though it's just going to be a much more difficult trek now with the scorched earth in the way.
Yes. Well, we need to keep at it. Keep hammering them. Keep them forcing back. When the time is right, we will join on the front lines.
They both nod. They will also give you an overview of the current troop situation.
Yeah.
As of course, we'll zoom down to the little army section we've got below with all your little army pieces.
Yes.
Currently, you have 6 units under personal command. A level 0 infantry unit, a level 0 peasant militia unit, or just footmen.
Mm-hmm.
The infantry do come with like range units, while the militia doesn't. They're just, stabby farmers, basically.
Sure, sure.
You have a level 1 promoted infantry unit.
Mm.
You have a vanguard unit, which were the guards you've removed from Sorkai, who also have a special trait attached to them. Indicated by the little, I assume you can see it.
Yeah, the little map.
Yeah, the little
thing.
map thing. Yeah, this blue thing.
They are tacticians, partly due to Tauren's influence over the Sorkai Guard, making them extra mindful.
Sure, sure.
Nice.
With that, they will grant a passive +1 to attack for all other units in their squadron except themselves.
All right.
Just because they can order everyone around. This does not apply to mindless units, which we'll get to.
Hmm.
You then have you have 2 siege units. Then one of them is the Arbalists, the Dwarven Arbalist here, who you were loaned.
Yeah.
Who also are siege engineers in particular, giving them this little trait here. Just they are good. They are engineers. They are good at fortifying and sapping. Which, yeah. Then the last one you have is another construct unit. In this case, it is your group of golems, who are still alive and active for the time being. So
Yes.
alive maybe it's pushing it. Operational for the time
Okay.
being. They are, of course, mindless units, meaning they can't really follow advanced battle plans. You just kind of point them where to go and they'll go murder.
Yep.
They can't be given special tactics. They don't get morale bonuses. They also don't take morale penalties. And they don't get any bonuses for something like tactician as it goes. And then obviously you have your allied units on the right-hand side being gifted to you, but they're under your command. At the top here, of course, we have Lady Eliza's with the lion sigil on them. Being Eliza's, in the case of the wolf icon there, her rough terrain skirmishers, Lady Eliza's personal hunting squad, as it were. You also have a special trait attached, which is foragers. They can move super fast while foraging off the land still. Because they're just good at it.
Yep.
Even in situations where food would be scarce. And then she also has just a set of generic skirmishers who are unpromoted, unlike her promoted main unit. But still, skirmishers, they're good for hit and run tactics, less good for a front on assault, but they may be good to have in reserve with your other units attacking. Then we get to the units gifted to you by Silver Swift into your squadrons. a set of mounted knights that are promoted to level 1. And a set of irregular mages, also promoted to level 1. Or irregular mages in this case are illusionist she's gifted you.
Sure.
As well as a supply wagon. Supply wagons are interesting. Effectively, supply wagons just let you send more troops to the same fight. They're supplies.
Okay.
And also, they help deal with attrition problems. Which could be relevant because someone just scorched earth at land.
Right.
Obviously, you're free to send them along. But do keep in mind, enemies might try attacking them because taking out supplies is important. But yeah, they let you bring more troops in though, so you know.
All right.
Yeah, this is kind of overview of your armies here.
So can we draft new units or like upgrade the ones we have, or like how would we handle that? Say for example, like I look here and one of the big things we don't really have is like we don't really have a solid unit that can hold a line. We have the footmen, the peasants, but they're kind of low grade. Like
You have the single vanguard unit from Sorkai, and that's really your only really tough frontline.
yeah. But like I would like to have some sort of like heavy infantry, like armor, shields, something to be sturdy in the front, or like
A group of knights, perhaps, or something similar for yourself. Then
yeah, kinda like foot knights or something like
shield bearer as some kind of situation here.
yeah, some sort of situation, or like when we're gonna storm a city and like take the walls, we need to send people up there that are good enough at fighting and heavily armed and armored enough to actually do some damage.
The heavy shock troop situation.
Yeah, like equal to sending in, the great sword, so the elven sword masters or something like that. We just need to shop something.
So one thing that you can have a counselor do. This is usually a military project to do, is just to recruit a whole new unit.
Yeah.
Just build a whole new one. You can also have also the same to promote an existing unit if there's one you want them to spend time just training more.
Yeah.
There may also be ways to get ones outside of the standard military protocol, but yeah, obviously you can spend for example a military project to say, Sir Gillian, start training these kind of troops for me.
Yeah.
That's an option. Obviously, you can also try to hire mercenaries. That's also an option.
Yeah, we have the Shadow Shields. The dwarven bronze, like dwarven elites.
So obviously, mercenaries can be expensive.
Yes. Certainly.
So keep that in mind, as they will cost both an upfront cost and an upkeep, and usually a pretty steep one.
So, like, Gillian and Kiana have both seen the front lines here. What would be their, field expertise recommendations for troops? Do we need more of any particular thing, do they think? Should we focus on upgrading what we have? Like, what would they recommend?
They ponder and consider for a moment. If I may, an issue you have is a lack of manpower to some regards. You only have so many men, and even your reserves aren't vast. More fights like the one we took, you could run out of just men to rehire.
Yep.
One thing that may be worth attempting to do is the training up of a medical reserve, perhaps. If you can send field medics out there to actually patch up the wounded, you may be able to staunch the bleeding of troops when you actually go into a fight.
Yes, we have.
Alternatively, this could be achieved by clergymen, but obviously, I don't know how much of those we have in Grand Reserve.
We can pull on some reserves in that regard, certainly. We'll probably need to actually appoint someone to that position.
Don't you currently have like a blessed turtle healing people? What's going on with that?
I'm gonna close his eyes.
Gillian just looks at her like, we don't talk about the turtle.
Do we have a blessed turtle healing people?
Yes.
Lord Shell.
Oh
You're
no!
telling me Lord Shell is an expert field medic?
I mean, he's a.
He has
He's
he
a
has
healer.
healing magic. He's not an expert field magic. He has healing magic.
Are you telling me that we're gonna put the awakened turtle in charge of our field medic?
Jonas, he's a sorcerer. Do you not remember this?
He's a divine blood
Soul sorcerer.
sorcerer. Yeah,
Yeah.
like.
You don't remember this, Jonas?
Sir McFrey is not a fan of this plan.
That is not true. It is just a turtle.
No, he
Oh,
is a sorcerer.
He's
If-
awakened
if-
to his divine power.
If House of Iron has taught me anything, it's that nations with no manpower should invest in field hospitals and tanks, and Lord Shell is both.
I chose a very poor time to drink.
Absolute unit of a healer.
Healing tank.
He's a healing tank.
Oh yeah, we have to put we forgot our plans.
It's
What
what
were our
it's
plans
what
to put
every
cannons on
MMO
him?
every MMO needs is a healing tank. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like, he's
And a
a
DPS at the same time.
And
It's
a
all
DPS
three.
war cleric.
He is the party. He'll clear the dungeons himself.
Oh. I mean, if he's being effective, keep at it. I mean,
Currently,
gonna say no to
he's
healing,
only been
though.
healing the sick in the city. He's not like going out to join your armies. So,
well, what does he want to do?
You know what? This might finally be his time to prove himself to be useful. And not just a joke. And that is Lord Shell can head up the newly formed medic brigade.
you'll have to build a medic brigade, but
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe the horrors of war will be good for him to get him to see the reality of the world.
of war.
just what we need, a shell shock turtle.
Oh no! Oh god, guys!
Oh, I can see him now screaming, like, hold him down, hold him down! Like, as he grasps with his little turtle paws like a saw to get someone's leg off.
We must amputate it. We have to save his life.
And it's there could either be an administrative project or a military project, but you could try to train up a unit of field medics.
Shell shock
I
the
think
turtle.
that
like
field
frog.
medic that would be good. It's probably needed.
We go and visit Lord Shell, and he's just stood there watching the fire. He's been stood there for
Trying
3
to drown
hours.
himself again.
Beside him is a keg of beer.
These moments are now lost, like tears.
If
in
you
the
had a
rain.
royal chaplain, you could instead try to train up a unit of life clerics or something. But
It is time to die, says Lord Shell as he throws himself into the fire.
All right, let's actually let's pull this back from the brink and
What do you mean?
put this out as a potential project for
I thought
for
you-
administration.
I was saved from the waters, now I shall be saved by the fires.
In sanctified flame, my pain ends. He screams.
I mean,
Yeah.
then he will rise from the ashes.
Yes. The fire rises. Get
Oh, he has a
Bane
mask and
on him.
everything.
Yeah, Bane mask on him. No one cared who I was before I got awakened.
We don't even need anyone to write fanfiction. We're writing our own for Lord Shell here. Uh,
It
It's
will
all
be
your fault,
very
Halldamir.
painful for you.
all right.
like, Halldamir, you know this is all your fault, right?
100%, and I take all blame because I
Look,
love
the
it.
chaotic neutral has to come in at some point. Might as well be now.
That's the thing. Is the chaotic neutral has to come out. It's better that it comes out in the form of Lord Shell than needing the Aeons being called.
That absolute worldly catastrophes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's better the Turtus is awakened than we have to deal with Aeons again in another campaign that I'm playing
Well-
a mage in.
Well, we're gonna deal with the mad Ginny soon if we don't like deal with it. So
Nice, man.
Sure, Lord Shell can certainly be, if he is capable to head up some sort of like healing initiative. Sure, maybe he sees his divine calling finally and can be
Sure.
used. That'd be great.
So the plan is to draft him into the military, I understand.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alternatively, we need to put someone on the holy seat of the council. Because
would
we don't
certainly-
have.
It would certainly give you better access to divine casters as a whole.
Well, like
we don't-
a chaplain, you mean?
Yes, we need a chaplain, and we have looked at the old lady, but she, I think we've decided she's
She's
too
too politically attached, I think.
Yeah, she's
uh,
too wily.
And she does have a lot of connections to the conclave, like the grand group of bishops behind everything.
Yeah, she can easily sway if she wanted to be on her station. I don't like that.
I mean, I'm just thinking that she would be a direct spy in a way that others might not necessarily be. That said, she has been useful to us.
Yeah.
So reporting her with that wouldn't be too bad. The other option is Thrain, I think we considered.
You
Or
considered him though. Considered him. Alternatively, you could go for the orthodox choice of or traveling Protestantizing preacher Shiala, the Lady of Crimson Flame.
Yeah, I feel I want a church presence though. The church and the throne has had connections over 100 years or more. So having the church on the council is a goodwill move. That's what I'm thinking.
You don't want to alienate the church too much.
No, this like weird fire lady. I'm sure she's lovely, but she's foreign, and we can't have like we're already allying with with a lot of weird people. We can't alienate them too. That's
Not interested in someone with the domains of like fire, luck, and trickery.
Oh, I'm super interested, but need to consider it politically here.
Need to destroy them politically. So
Yes. Should we? Here's the question: should we just pick either Thrain or the old lady, or should we send out a scout to look for another prospect?
if we can look for someone who is like, didn't we have someone who was? Didn't we have two people who were of the church, but not like of a high station that we could use?
I mean, the other option was
Thrain
Sister
is-
Fiona, but Sister Fiona has no political interest.
Yeah,
Right, but she wouldn't be. She wouldn't be. I guess this would be a political seat, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
it is.
Right.
Like
She is merely interested in running the orphanage.
That's fair.
the good thing with Thrain is that he is young and malleable, and would probably be in our debt. He's not as good, but he has a lot of fire in him, and in wartime that is very useful. So he could definitely. I feel he can stir the masses in a way that the old lady really can't.
Mm.
Um,
It is strength and wisdom, right? So it's the like key scores here. So
yeah.
feel like the old lady's too wise, but not like willing to do anything herself, the kind of way. So
I have the opposite feeling of her. I have a feeling that she does. She wants to do quite a lot, but in that sort of scheming way.
yeah,
This
yeah.
makes me wary of. But I think she will be very powerful.
Magically, she's the much more powerful option.
What does the rest of the group think?
I don't really have a strong opinion, I think.
Yeah, I think the thing. Ceres has never been a fan of organized religion in general, so I don't think she's the best to really contribute to this discussion.
I think Seal would go with the old lady due to personal reasons.
She likes old ladies.
No, she would want to know if the Inquisition comes after her.
So,
But that's, kind of biased option. So she doesn't have any strong points. as a player, I don't have any strong points.
I yeah. What are the relevant stat bonuses for the two of them?
Let me have a look here. So, let's see. The revered mother. Let's go through her stats. So sadly, she only has a flat strength of 10,
Yes. Well.
Told
but
you.
she does have a wisdom of 20.
Right.
Yes.
So, swings one way quite strong.
Hmm.
That. She has an expertise in religion and is trained in persuasion.
Yeah.
Basically, she's pretty good in that sense, as well as having her existing church rank and connections, which may provide a bonus as well.
I do like her unorthodox approach as well, because she is the what's it called, her aspect, like the death aspect of the faith,
Yeah, she is.
The rider.
the rider,
Mm-hmm.
which I like. It fits with the rest of the theme.
Death, but also perseverance, and yeah, it's an interesting combination.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
We lost Stark.
No.
He's the
I
important
knew it. The old
one.
lady murdered
Oh.
him.
Back.
The
It
rider
is called
took him.
a search restart for some reason, but that's fine. Yeah, did you want to know what Brother Frane's stats would look like by comparison?
Yes.
Sure. Also, wisdom of 16, so technically a bit 6/5 there for raw attributes.
Mm.
He is trained in religion. Not actually trained in persuasion.
Yep.
And of course, he does not have his church rank backing him,
Yeah.
since he's fairly low on the church scale. So
Which is not a bad thing, because that means that their ability to extort him or pump him for secrets might be limited, and his inclination to give up those secrets to the church is also limited, probably.
he hasn't done all the dealing and favors to work his way up church rankings.
Exactly. You said 16/16, was that his stats?
Yeah.
Vicus's suggestion would be to go for him, mostly because he's seen what you can do when you can take someone that's not necessarily younger but lesser experienced with lesser ties, and you can build them up, right? But there's also that idea of you can build loyalty better if they are not loyal to others as much.
Yeah.
If what we're looking for here is to build a lasting empire, we need people to stick with us. So then there's also the problem of you might not have the time to wait for that either. So but Vicus that's his personal recommendation or advice, I guess, would be to go for him.
What is Thrain's view on other cultures and their religious beliefs? Because we do have a collection of them. Is he burn them to the
He is
ground?
very
or...
open-minded with it, which partly comes from the nature of himself being a half-orc and outsider, very likely.
Yes.
He has seen the warfare and fighting over the faiths, and to be honest, he sees it more as petty squabbling than anything else. Fighting, as it stands, in his thought, people will come round. Will come round to worshipping the right god in time, because it is the right god. He doesn't need to fight someone over that in particular.
Sure.
And as it goes, we're all neighbors at the end of the day. He has a duty to serve his community, regardless of what his neighbors think. of his god or not. He still has a duty to serve them if it's within his reach. Very
enough.
very just kind of tolerant of other faiths.
Well, that's a plus. The Reverend Mother, what's her view on other faiths?
She has had a history for not being quite as tolerant of other faiths.
Uh-huh.
She is definitely much more of the like the traditionalist fundamentalist by like this is the law in scripture. This is this is a sacred doctrine, and you are wrong for not believing in it. And she has definitely headbutted with the Scoldies, for example, on several occasions.
Right.
Um,
All right. Well,
she has usually gotten her way at the end of the day because her influence is pretty strong already. But
Wonder what happens when we say no to her and she's like, "What? What?"
How dare
she
you?
has been smart enough not to challenge us openly. I think because we know where she lives. So
sure, I mean that might be the case, but also it's not like you oppose her ideals.
no.
No. Question is, do we want to give her the platform to even have a chance to oppose us? That's the thing.
The thing. So I'm thinking then that Thrain might be the good option in a sense that we send a signal to the Scaldi and the others that we are picking someone who is conciliatory and like more tolerant and open towards them. In the meantime, towards the church, they can't really complain because we have picked one of their clerics to be on the council, leading in religious matters. So hopefully, with him as a pick, no one can really complain. I suppose the church or the mother herself could,
The
you
mother
know,
the mother could make complaints that because she is the highest ranking member of this territory, she should
yeah,
have been chosen. But
yes, she and with some right, she certainly has a claim to the seat in that regard. But maybe she will also be sated with that at least there is someone on her faith, on that position.
one of her students instead.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I guess we'll ask Brother Thrain then how he feels. Would he be interested in taking the position? First of all, because if he's not, then point is moot anyway.
I would have let you know if he wouldn't be. He would indeed be willing to accept such a position if it was offered to him.
Mm-hmm. I assume the Reverend Mother would also accept if it was offered to
Yes.
him. Imagine so.
The only one that
Man.
wouldn't is Sister Fiona because she's not politically charged enough to be
No, she's also too nice.
Again, she just wants to run the orphanage.
Yeah. Is Thrain a righteous fella? Because that's another point in favor of the mother. I could probably discuss assassinations with her and she'd be perfectly fine with
He is very honourable, very lawful, neutral, honourable.
it. Right. Is that his alignment, lawful neutral?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, same alignment as me, so that's good.
Oh.
Let's go with Thrain. And we'll see how he does.
So you would like to induct him into the council.
Yes. We'll keep an eye on the Reverend Mother, see what she does. If you start working against us because of this, then we'll have to reevaluate her place as such. But Thrain seems to be a fairly good middle road.
Okay.
And he has the war aspect, which is what we're doing right now. Can whip some fervor and zeal into these troops.
That puts your diplomatic score also up to 27 nil.
Alright.
As he will take the role of royal chaplain. That should be 28.
Maybe we'll start inviting him into some practice session. He has a martial bent. He can probably swing a sword or a
He
mace.
does. He definitely knows how to. He definitely knows how to use a weapon. He still has an old orcish war axe he sometimes uses.
Oh, there you go.
He has not forgotten the olden days.
Yes. Well, if he's going to be a war chaplain, he needs to get out there and start swinging a bit.
Prayers of war, axe to the enemy's face.
That's right.
I mean, very much, we've got battle cleric versus Fergie cleric here, and you've gone with battle cleric.
Yep, we have for now gone with battle cleric.
It's very on brand.
Yeah, I think.
That's what threat increases that.
Suffer not, they'll send you to live.
Within the coming days, there is immediate recourse from you making this choice as you hear murmurs.
Yes.
It's only rumors and whispers and murmurs, but it's clear that the Reverend Mother is not happy with your choice.
Yeah.
Given her sway, it does appear that some of her more loyal followers are also perhaps a little bit disgruntled.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I mean, we will of course let her know that she certainly has she's certainly welcome to speak her mind on the council if she had particular things she want to bring up. Like she's welcome to bring issues before the council. Certainly.
She can make her petitions still.
Yeah, and also in view of her many contributions and contributions that have certainly not been forgotten to the cause. This will also allow her an unlimited access to his person. If she wants to bring things directly to him for a private consultation or discussion, his door is always open for her when he's willing to listen.
I'll make a note that you've made that offer.
The way she still has a, perceived a road to power, which I do believe that she appreciates and craves.
She has shown herself to be very interested in accumulating power.
Yes. And even though she can't influence the council, Amanas will listen to her. So that is almost as good.
Still, there is definitely a sting though to her now having to answer to one of her low ranked students.
Yeah. And if Thrain is tactful, he will probably keep his demands pretty much on the down low for a while.
Right now, he just seems very humble and I will do my best to serve the council and my people.
Start setting up. Do we have a refurbished church or something? He needs an office.
Well, Sorkai has a church, yes.
Was that one we built on top of some elven ruins? I forget. We refurbished
pretty
something.
much.
That's fine.
Yeah, and adjacent to it is the orphanage run by Sister Fiona.
Good.
Also known as the Junior Blood Bank.
Yes, also known as the recruiting ground.
Oh, I see, because they're already orphans anyway. So
yeah, exactly. You know what? They're now the children of Amanas, and we'll hang the portrait in the orphanage.
Is that my royal decree? The painting is going to the orphanage.
Perfect recruiting ground for his guard.
I can see it now. You're giving a small speech to donate this to the church.
Yes.
To the orphanage.
Reverend Mother, what can we have something other than porridge tonight? No, we have this portrait though.
I want to remind you, the portrait again is gently enchanted to kind of draw your eyes towards it, and you're vaguely looking in that direction.
No, you filthy child.
We can't afford such things, but look upon His Majesty.
Silence, you filthy urchin.
Oh,
Praise the name of the emperor.
All hail his glorious majesty. And also shut up, urchin. Be read tales about Amanas's incredible adventures
It's
at
at this
every dinner.
it's at this point though, one final thing from the council, a bit late on the schedule returning. Count Ander will return from a long trip he made.
Oh,
Mm.
As you had sent Lord, I don't say Count Ander, it's now just Lord Ander. But your new royal advisor, of course.
indeed.
Yeah, Amanas's new spare hand to the throne,
Yes.
as he will return and speak with Amanas about his journey. As indeed, he is headed southbound to beyond the borders of both well, basically beyond the borders of the Reach down to the heartlands of the Empire to speak with some of his cousins.
All right.
And Duke Reinhardt's cousins, of course, by connection.
Right.
And has been speaking, well, check something, not bad. It appears that Duke Reinhardt's actions of late have not painted him in the best light, especially, for example, the whole coup over the whole potential coup over Freyfrost with the fake Inquisitor situation, stuff like that. That whole thing you guys repelled in Chapter 1.
Yep.
Kind of harmed his reputation a bit. Which probably for the best. And Lord Ander is happy to report, actually, that he has managed to curry some favor with some of his cousin houses to the south.
Okay.
And so, something that I need to go ahead and do. He's actually come back with him as he gestures. He asks Alice to follow him outside.
Sure. Fall outside.
He has brought with him a squad of knights
Yay.
from one of his family's banner houses.
Oh yeah, that's certainly very generous.
On, temporary lease to him, due to the growing madness of his cousin. Well, at least that was the argument. Growing madness of his cousin.
I think he's fairly mad.
Yeah, the third argument. As Ander kind of looks over them. First time I've actually been in command of my banner lords, given that was always traditionally my cousin's situation, but again, they don't seem the biggest fan of his behavior. It's not just myself who he was mistreating, it seems.
Excellent. Most excellent.
Sadly, it's a lot of more green knights as it goes. A lot of the most senior ones have been called southbound for the whole war situation, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, any night is better than no night, for sure.
Also, my liege, I also met another person of interest down there who, well, I thought I would at least make conversation with.
Huh?
It was mine and Salsine's old tutor. We were educated down in the capital for a long time ago, actually.
Okay.
He has offered to come up here and assist potentially if people of the court would be so interested in working with him. He's actually quite the expert in a few different fields. Academically speaking, that is.
Certainly. As a baseline, we are always interested in more knowledge and the more like skilled experts. Certainly.
This is opening up the opportunity for having a new special training available to members of the PCs, potentially.
All right. Yes, we invite him, whatever he needs. Sparing no expense here.
It's funny you say that.
Exactly. There's one thing I've always dreamed of. It's an airship. God damn it.
Ah, yes. I want the minor loan of a one airship.
Yeah, exactly.
He does require. He would require. He would require some persuading to come up here in the, which can be done via. Well, as simple just paying him is one solution. Either from the general treasury, from personal stashes, or via giving magic items you don't want to pay. To convince
How
him.
much he needs?
Let's have a look.
I have this sweet trident.
I have this cloak of a bat.
So you could
See?
give.
These amazing things.
So you could give. Let's see here. 2 non-consumable magic items of any rarity.
Okay.
Actually, no, it can't be common. Any uncommon or greater rarity. 1,000 gold pieces
Hmm.
or 50 treasury ducats.
Right.
That would
I mean,
potentially unlock a new extra training for the PCs.
I have a magic item.
I'm willing to
say-
ship in the gold for it, certainly.
How
To-
much
to-
gold
to
again?
Train what exactly? What does this training get us?
So this is the option to have a tutor come up again. Similar to before how Mazzara went through and trained and gave people, for example, an extra feat. He would have options he would potentially grant to various members of the PCs as training when he comes up. In this case, he's more an academically focused one, so probably less on skill on war feats. But
I like that. I do technically have a spare item now that I have the ring of protection, but I believe it is common.
Is the cost like a once off, and we have all access to it, or is it per person?
it's
uncommon?
you pay him this to persuade him to come here and train you for basically like a month, and then he leaves. But then that month he can train multiple people. So
Okay, how much gold?
it'd be 1,000 gold pieces
I have 1,000 gold pieces.
I think
if you
we
just want
can,
to pay in raw money.
we can
I
chip
can
in.
pay that. I can pay that.
I cannot chip in.
That's
I can
fine.
pay-
I'm willing to pay this. I'll pay 500, and if the 2 people who said they chip in put 250 in.
I mean, I can put 250 on magical item.
Okay, then
I'll
we can
put,
do that then.
I'll put 250 in.
250 each. There's 4 of us, right?
I think Janice said they had put money in.
I can. Although academic feats is not what I would benefit me too much, but I can chip in.
If you
Wait,
don't want
I
to,
mean-
I do have money. I do have money. I can chip in this one.
Or if it's
We can
all
do just-
5 of us, it's 200.
200
Yeah.
each.
200 each if we all have
Alright, fair
Right.
enough.
Chip in.
We shower the dragon in wealth.
Also, actually, after that, no, I also have to. It does remind me because it technically also be since new council season payday.
Oh,
Okay.
So all of you can get 90 gold pieces from
Okay, sweet.
the council.
Hooray!
90. Alright, so it was only 110 each.
10. That's not bad. Yeah,
bad.
we'll pay.
Basically
We'll
nothing.
pay. We'll pay for that. All right. What can you teach us?
Very well then. One moment while I pull up his tutorings options for you.
So, if I recall correctly, we can have as many of these trainings up for our proficiency bonus if we have access to that many people.
Yes.
do so.
Currently,
Okay.
currently one has been given out to the group, which means you still have 3 slots open.
Well,
Yeah.
you say that, Doug.
Isaac doesn't have one, right?
Yeah, Isaac hasn't.
That's true.
Does Isaac want training from Miss Bizarra?
I want all the training, yes. I want to expand my mind.
That may be a thing to get for him.
1,000 gold, please. No, I'm kidding.
$1 million gold.
$1 million.
I'm just going to get you the options up. Just give me a minute here. So I can kind of write them all down as well to make it easy for you all.
Sure.
I think that's it. Yeah. These are the options he has available.
Okay.
Mind feed, what is that?
Interesting.
I mean, increasing my int might be nice, actually.
Yeah. You think? I mean, yeah, definitely.
So you might be actually on par with the tortoise.
Hey now.
Actually, I think the tortoise has like 12.
Wow.
I will never reach a tortoise. I would need some Herculean increase in intelligence.
So you're saying you should get you a headband?
That would be nice. Keen mind linguist. Small spells, no, that's not bad.
Honestly, I'm thinking about Keen Mind. For a Spy Master to be able to recall anything I've seen or heard within the past month.
It's
That is
incredible.
incredibly
Seems,
useful.
seems Vickers like, yes.
Yeah. And we can only pick one of these to be trained.
Yeah, only
Yeah.
pick one.
Yeah, I know it's a good choice on this there.
As he's an
Yeah.
academic tutor.
Oh, if only you were a sorcerer. That one spell alone is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Switch back to sorcerer immediately.
Switches back.
Yeah.
That has changed my mind. The connection is
pretty sure
reformed.
I know what I want here. Isaac would like to take up the offer and train some medicine.
Mm.
You can be given a crash course in the medicine skill if you want.
Sure.
As you'll receive, the man in question who comes at this point is a very old man. He's, for a human, he's probably like late 70s or early 80s. Yet, like, he enters this room very confident, just kind of tapping forward of his cane and very much solid slam of his cane to the ground, chalk on the blackboard. He will lecture you, and he's good at lecturing. He's very intelligent, also very strict. And does somewhat talk to all of you like you are still his wards. He's been hired to teach, but he's good at what he teaches.
I would like to pick wisdom. To increase my wisdom by 2.
I'm gonna increase my intelligence by 2.
Yeah, I'll take Keen Mind. Linguist is also good because I can do ciphers, but I think Keen Mind is good for my job description.
Post this in here for stream.
Yes.
My intelligence is now 10. My God.
It is glorious.
Said it couldn't be done.
So do we get the benefit like now or when?
Takes a
Effectively,
while.
effectively, you can put it now for yourselves.
Oh, okay.
It would
So-
technically take some time, but just, you get the bonus now, effectively.
All right. Money talks.
Ciel, you went wisdom, didn't you?
Yes.
Because I just need to mark that one down because that one also affects your council abilities in your case.
Yes.
That also means admin goes up to 22.
You know what? I'll pick intelligence, I think.
I mean, I guess you can.
Well, I've got that headband, but that's always taking up a slot. And feat-wise, I'm pretty okay with. So if I can max out intelligence and charisma...
It's going to be a while to max out your int.
Well, that would bring me up to 17 standard. And then level 12, I can up it to 19.
I suppose.
So it's pretty close. And then at 19, I can just... Well, at 18, I can drop it for... I can drop the headband. Maybe give it to Amanas, like a hand-me-down.
As Amadas suddenly remembers all the things he was taught in like old history class. All
So
still
it's-
there, hidden inside.
It's a toss-up between increasing wisdom or intelligence, but my intelligence is so abysmal. I might as well bump that up so I don't have a penalty to my intelligence.
And people stop comparing you to the turtle.
I don't know if anyone will actually do that.
What is the tortoise's intelligence? I don't remember.
Uh, 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm as intelligent as the tortoise. It has happened.
Yeah, he has 10 int, 12 wisdom, and goddamn rolled 18 charisma.
Jeez,
He has same
charismatic.
mental set as I, except one less wisdom.
Wow.
Well,
Well, you have one big advantage over him. You have opposable thumb.
It's true.
Oh, jeez.
Also, he had a dexterity of 6.
Well, he's a tortoise. It's actually shockingly high for a tortoise.
But it's still not that high. Yeah. Dexterity of 6. A strength of 6. A
Certainly.
constitution of 14.
So
Turns out tortoise is tough, but not much else.
Mm.
And apparently very charismatic. Hence why he's managed to get people to like, you know, be his fan club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Alter that on that end. So now.
Able to pull my updated from beyond.
Not right now, but I can do that between sessions if you need me to.
Yeah, like the feat won't really like do anything numbers wise for me. I'll just remember it till next session.
Hmm.
Fine, yeah, I can try pulling between sessions.
Yeah, no rush.
And yeah, I need to update the modules before I can do that. So
No, I was just looking for like in the feat compendium. I can't find any feats at all to pull into my sheet. So
yeah, it's because Wizards of the Coast is really stingy on what we're allowed to have on Foundry files, what we're not.
yeah. I understand.
Where importing of D&D Beyond is fine because in that case it's already on D&D Beyond, but
Yeah.
yeah, Lord Reinhardt hopes that his old teacher isn't going to be too harsh on Amos.
Best for the teacher. But Amanas wants to learn. He has finally, you know, his wine addled brain has recovered after a year or two now of sobriety.
I mean, I'm kind of amused by the idea though of Amna set in his big skull armor with just like a tiny chalkboard being forced to write out lines.
Yes.
I think my medicine will show up.
Though I'm just imagining all of his lines being like threats to conquer someone.
Exactly. I know. Maybe he studies the family history a bit.
But very likely that would be part of it. That would be the standard thing for like a teaching a noble anyway, so that makes sense for it.
I have a mighty +0 now to history checks.
You're definitely not his star student, but at least he made progress.
That's me.
I mean, you are the king, so of course you're the star.
I am. I mean, obviously, I got an A in everything.
Not in his class.
He's too old to care.
He really is too old to care at this point. Like he doesn't care if he badmouths someone powerful because at this point he might only have like a few more years to live anyway.
That's fair.
So he's going to speak his mind.
I can respect that.
As it goes, he speaks his mind, but he's a solid academic. He knows what he's talking about, and he is an experienced tutor. So over the course of the next month, basically, he teaches you, and yeah, you get the feats. You get the feats, the ability improvements, etc. As you help him save up, not quite retirement, but for just things to put into his future inheritance.
Good for him.
I'll build up that family fortune, right?
Yeah.
You know, he can also tell his child that I teach a king, and his, counsel. I think my medicine went also up with this because wisdom went up.
See, I was getting a tiny bit of common sense.
Well,
yeah.
tiny
How
bit.
to be a responsible
hold on
scribe.
now.
Give all the work for Denzel. And focus on other things like the airship.
Oh boy.
If Ceres has Lord Turtle, I will have my airship. The scale is the same. Yeah, but this helps me now with next time I can pick skills. Or, a feat regarding into skills and tools to make an airship.
I see some people are away right now, so just give them a few minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. So, I hope you guys do like the diplomatic map, by the way, of like the different colors for each, like how people feel about you.
Yeah,
No,
it was
that's fine.
great. I mean, it's pretty clear to see. Glance.
And of course, you can see all the big players around as well, which is quite nice.
They'll have this huge dark swath up here. There's nothing.
Sadly, it's terrain that is currently impossible.
Yes.
Sadly, or thankfully, depending on your perspective. An extra star on the map there to show you've got a new major settlement. A badly drawn star, but star. Since you know, we do have Sorbet now on the map.
Yes.
You know that's actually its permanent name now going forwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
so
I
it's-
mean,
it's
you know,
sorbet.
I mean, we have Lord Shell. This is the least of our naming
We're not good at
issues.
names.
Fair enough.
Well, Halldamir is back.
Just waiting on sheep.
Yeah.
I wasn't gone.
Oh, it says okay. It says you're gone on system. So
Yeah,
No.
it says as a way.
Oh, what? How?
Yeah.
you
If
said
you
yourself as
type
AFK at some point.
if you type
type-
BRB or AFK, then it does it.
I think also if you don't click anywhere on it for a while, it probably sets you.
Oh, I
Okay.
did. I did type BRB a while ago because I went to the bathroom. But
Yeah,
Oh,
then
okay.
that's what it do.
Okay, fair enough. Then. In which case, so yes, that happens over the next month, which is fine. Which now simply leads us to the group to decide where exactly we'd like to go from here, and also if you would like to assign, if you guys would like to this evening, assign what the council will be up to for the next month, while you, of course, you go off and do your various projects.
I
So
believe
it sounds like we've got at least one combat we're going to need to probably do, because it sounds like you guys want to go after a certain
Certain princess.
yeah, I
Yes.
believe
Yes.
murder is on the agenda.
Yeah, murder is on the agenda.
Murder or perhaps
Yeah.
recruit?
Um,
Because she
Oh,
doesn't seem happy.
also now the season will be shifting to autumn.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, all right.
And with the season shifting to autumn, you do know that the it will be very soon now for the ritual.
Yeah.
But you also know a upcoming date where she is heading to the dwarves to pick up more mana crystals.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'd like to contact them in advance, maybe be like, hey, where were these people? And she's pretty important. Also, she might be something that is incredibly dangerous, so we're gonna try and stop her.
Maybe can we hire bronze mercenaries for a little bit? Be like, hey, this is your home turf. Can you waylay her for us, or point us in the right direction or something? Feel
This this can be this is a thing you can certainly go try to do. We may have to go through that in character, but
Yeah.
that's certainly a thing you could do. How you approach dealing with her, up to you.
We have our master diplomat. And a lot of violence.
Yeah. A lot of violence.
Choose.
Yeah. Choose now.
With that, of course, Vickers also now has apparently a dungeon to investigate.
Yes, I do mention that, but he also says, it's not pressing, but he is interested in going.
The point is, you can do that whenever you want to. You can do it before going there or after going there. Either's fine.
Is there time to
do
go
love
before?
dungeons.
There would be time to go before if you wanted to do it beforehand.
Okay. Sorry, Sheep, what were you saying?
I do love dungeons in this game that includes that in its name.
Okay, so do you want to go to that then?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that into the room.
Okay. People amenable to going before then?
Do we have time?
You will have
I
time. if you
literally
want
just
to
asked that.
before
Yes,
the
we have
dungeon.
time.
I mean, sure, we can go there first then.
The dangerous
Sure.
dungeon, so tomb with
Sure.
undead and other things, cyclic
Perfect.
manifestations, perhaps. So bring your best undead busters.
Ah, that's me. Anything I can bust is undead.
I mean,
Yes.
you're a paladin. I'd be disappointed otherwise.
Dare say it's my best bustin'.
Okay, so plan of actions for the PCs is to go to the tomb next session. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's absolutely
fine
fine.
with everyone. Yeah.
Yes.
Just so I know which of the dungeons I need, like which of the battle maps I need to load up for next time. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Dungeon crawler this.
And like obviously we're doing both of these, but just which one we're doing first. So
Yes.
okay, in which case, the only question is there any council positions you would like, any council jobs you would like to assign now?
We need to do some recruiting on the military side because we are still a little bit weak in that regard, and we are draining our reserves.
Yes.
Just going to go ahead and clear the ones in here right now. Obviously, one of the ones that was brought up is you could have either military or administrative, like try to like train field medics.
Yeah.
That's an option.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's see.
And which do it?
Probably administrative. We probably want to roust more men with military, right? Because we're low
Yeah.
on that.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking.
So if we can encourage recruitment, right? Is that the military project for manpower?
Yeah, encourage recruitment would be like trying to like bust up more manpower recovery.
I think that would kind of need that.
I
if
mean,
So
it's-
trying to
there's-
recruit a squadron where you just start trading a new like troop to put on the board.
yeah.
It's fine. I can do that. Amanas can have rousing speeches.
Well, actually, one of the things I also added in the section of the leadership is you could hold a speech over a recent conquest if that's what you wanted to do as a
Ah, yes, this
We did
border
conquer the fort,
fortress.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
glorious conquest.
That is in the leadership project section if you're so inclined.
You should do that. Definitely.
Sure. Brag about my incredible accomplishments.
No, it's not brag. It's just a speech. It's different.
Behold my painting and my halberd.
Yes, I bring the painting everywhere I go now. It needs to be rolled behind me, like on a
Present sorbet as well.
Oh yeah.
Who would you like to train field medics? I feel like the only appropriate choice might be Seal.
Yes, Ciel
Yeah.
is expert in this medicine.
Alright.
So
Awesome.
this is thing that Ciel would actually like to do.
Awesome.
This
Also,
is very interesting. What the difference is a corpse and a living thing? I'm not so sure. Now restrain specimen, please.
also, I have
Oh
a
God!
question.
Yes.
Since I'm using Dancer so much as my scribe, would she already he be my personal squire? Could I make that move?
Want to steal him from the council?
No. He will be council, but under me as my
Mm,
personal
mean-
scribe.
If you want to, sure, we can do that.
Yeah, he will be also trained in other things. But
will he be turned to a vampire as well?
As you're now going to give him specialized
maybe.
training.
Give little fangs to the kobold.
Dragonborn.
Extra big.
Yeah, but I think it's a thing that Seal has done a lot with Dancer, and then Seal knows that Dancer can do the paperwork that she cannot.
In which case, I will have Danza transferred from being a retainer to a squire instead.
Yes. Then he can get classes and stuff.
Yeah, he means he can actually level up properly.
Yeah, he gets promotion. Seal can pay some of that.
Okay, I can arrange for that. As you're just going to take him under your personal wing.
Yep.
So yes, on the military side, what would you like Sir Gillian to do? Would you like him to encourage recruitment, try to get restock your manpower, recruit a squad, and just start building a new squad of men? I know you said Rahal was saying you wanted to build a possibly just something more solid frontliners.
Yeah, although we did get some knights, so that's
did.
nice. Were they mounted?
They are
Or
not mounted knights; those are footman knights.
Yeah, we'll have them for now then. So we'll have them as shock troops.
You could have him promote a unit, alternatively building a new one if you wanted to level up an existing unit.
Well, yeah,
He cannot level up the golem, but
sure. No, we'll get some. We'll refill some manpower. We're kind of low.
encourage recruitment for Gillian. Thankfully, that's what the field marshal's good at, just getting more people to sign up to the military.
Yep. See the world.
Which then brings up a question for what shall our diplomatic section do? They have many options.
Is a great question.
Of course, you have your standard ones. You could summon courtiers, try to host a festival. You now have action to requesting sanctions if you would like to request the church to get involved in something.
What? Sanction the Duke or something.
Requesting sanctions could also allow you to just ask for money from the church if you want to try doing that. You're basically asking the Pope for money, right?
Yeah.
Ask the Pope if I can marry my sister.
I mean, but Ceres doesn't like the church, so doesn't want stupid
The
gods.
point is, you now have a chaplain who can do these things. So.
Reach out to the orcs.
Hey.
Sounds hilarious.
Hey, should I found my own church, like Church of England? Because doing a Henry VIII over here.
I mean, you could.
Good.
Maybe
I
later.
I need many wives now that I think about it.
And guillotines for some reason.
Yeah, they vanish in mysterious circumstances.
They go to this blood bank and
I do have to note, Shiala, who is currently still preaching in your town square, her faith does believe in polygamy is perfectly normal.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right,
Perfect. Trade you out. And for the good of the realm.
What provoking Daredevil? What sort of response are we sort of looking at for that? Like them joining?
The goal will be trying to use what goodwill you have to try and see if you can get them to join the war effort.
That could be interesting.
you could also use the Duke's Reinhardt, Curse strategy as a slender with our printing. To make him even more like a lunatic and our cause to be.
I feel like he's already basically a pariah, isn't he?
Yeah. True.
Not only always has the option, the basic options, also like negotiating trades or like trying to gather rumors. They're always on the table.
Ceres personally has wanted to get Daredevil on our side for a while. And they're friendly. But I think
With the state dinner done, you want to see if you can raise it to temporary ally.
Yeah. I think she wants to maybe make get the artists' hands dirty.
Okay then.
They've certainly got the manpower. It's a
I'll remind you, Mystical is currently buffed at the moment. But what should Mystical get up to?
Mystical? I had an idea for that. And the projects. Although, yes, I want to investigate kitchen fires. For sure. Because
Why
that is weird.
Why randomly kitchens are bursting into flames all over the city?
Yeah, there's I mean, fire is a common element. But, like, Isaac saw fire in his, like, vision. And, also now here. And he knows a guy who really likes fire, who doesn't like him. There's a lot of fire that is just bad in general. So
We need to be cool about fire safety.
yes,
So Isaac wants to personally investigate the kitchen fires.
yes. Only Isaac can prevent kitchen fires.
Believe it.
You have to wild shape into a bear while you're investigating this. Now.
Yeah, put on a hat and then walk around.
Okay.
Yes. Remind me what the whole investigate potential cultists was about again.
There have been rumors of there has been various rumors of strange men clad in dark cloaks moving through the countryside that people suspect might be occultists.
Right.
They've had people slightly uneasy, but you guys have been busy with a war effort.
Well, I have a little bit of downtime before we go murder everyone, so perhaps I'll investigate that this month.
I also have to note there's also Viella's secret project in there. You could try to assist your toxicologist with something.
Okay, so has she said what exactly it would be?
She needs assistance testing out some of her new creations.
Oh, I remember that. Actually, you know what? I want to do that instead.
You want to spend time helping her test them?
Yeah, why not? That sounds fun.
Very well.
That's my vacation month. It's just helping her use poison.
Vacation month. Here's some poison. Now tell
Yeah.
me what happens when you stab someone with it.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting. They convulse up. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think you've got a construction project this month.
We don't have enough money, I don't think. So no.
You're pretty poor.
Yeah. Is there a way to convert gold to ducats, so to speak?
Not
Oh.
directly.
Right.
Regarding to
There is sort of a way you can do it, but it's not a great conversion. It's something like 1,000 gold for like 10 ducats.
Yeah, I mean like an emergency, but yeah, okay, I get what you mean.
If you desperately need them, you could start doing that, but
Yeah. What were you saying, Isa?
no, I was thinking of personal things. But
obviously,
okay.
obviously, if there's something you want to build in that plot of land you took, Isa, feel free to
I
suggest
I
those.
would like to build things.
Yeah, go for it.
I would like to build safe houses,
Okay.
and that
With
kind
a
of
with a
things.
frozen cellar in the basement for some reason.
No. It is like a a clinic for a dog has a safe house in there.
All right.
Very simple. It brings some,
Is its main purpose to be a medical clinic or main purpose to be a safe house?
main purpose to be a safe house. The
Okay.
clinic is a front, but there's people doing that, and it is used to be training these field medics. It is a front for safe houses and stuff.
I'll go ahead and add that on.
Shouldn't be too expensive. I can even throw my own money at it, but
There we go. Decided the construction list as an option.
that, I guess that is mainly for Vickers, him to have more stuff.
Yeah. There is
Yeah.
now a safe house in the construction options for Sorbet.
All right,
It's 30 ducats.
that's fair.
Like it's this monthly fee that we just got. Really much. It's not much.
Yeah.
But like
It's not hideously expensive.
no. And like we don't have anything major that we are looking to buy at the moment.
Obviously, the alternative is you just hold back your money and just skip construction for now.
Yeah. But up to other big players if they want that or not.
I mean, I think it's good to have a place like if the worst happens and Sorkai gets evaded, a nice place to retreat to if we need to, and also for other things. I think it's a good contingency to have.
So you would like a safe house built. Is that what I'm hearing? Properly.
That's my like opinion. I don't know what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, I fully agree.
But given the lack of any other opinion, I guess we do it then.
I will deduct 30 ducats from the pool. Who is in charge of this construction project? Because it can't be CL because she's busy.
Who's our person for building stuff? Was it Rochelle? No, it was Percy, right?
Percy Penwick is your general construction person.
Yeah, Percy. Why not?
Him and Hoot Hoot will do an excellent job.
Free research. Does anyone want to do research immediately that they have in mind?
I do have a research project I've sort of been putting off.
Go for it.
Because I've got my well, I believe it used to be on the research list at least.
What was that?
My staff.
Independently researching FOF staff.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
That is a option. Of course, you're also free to suggest things for research. People can, if there's a particular topic you want to look into.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be a magical topic after all. It can just be a general scholarly topic or really just any topic you want to. Latest fashion trends in the capital. That's really what you wanted to know.
But yeah, I mean, you could do your staff if you want, Halldamir. I don't have anything in mind.
Yeah.
Who's going to research that then? You
I feel like if Makara's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the group wants to build any magic items right now or edit any magic items.
I don't have anything in mind, given that I'm probably going somewhere to get some. So I think I'm good.
Good for a while.
Yeah.
In that case, Raiden will occupy the slot if no one has anything else, with just him tinkering.
Sounds good.
And just accumulate more power for a next big spell.
Actually let your the tower recharge properly here.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully you've got Makara who charges the tower ridiculously fast, but
She sure does.
yeah, if you've got if you've got someone else doing it, you might be getting like half the speed on this right now, so it's good. Okay, that's how the project's so set for the next service. Also, that's every one of the PCs is actually doing one themselves.
Hooray.
Yes.
Interesting. Look at those stars going down there. Okay then. In which case, I think I will call this one to a close. This session for a close now. We've got that all sorted.
Okey-doke.
When we meet up next time, apparently we're going to a Scoldy dungeon.
Yeah.
Let's
Tomb
go.
raiding. Just what everyone wants to do.
Dungeons. Dungeons and perhaps dragons in the future.
Maybe
we already
dragon.
have a
Maybe
dragon.
dragon.
She's just in
Half
humanish
dragon.
form.
Not the same.
Do we?
She was
She's
half,
not
right?
really.
Oh, she was